Hey, hello, how's it going?
Good. How's it going?
It's going okay. I
That's
am
good.
streaming this right now, just letting you know in case you say something super embarrassing. I will have it recorded so you don't have to take notes. We can remember it and cherish it forever.
All right.
But if that's not cool, let me know and I'll turn it off. And most people like it because I send them a video after and then they don't have to
Oh
take
no, no,
notes.
no, no, it's fine. It's fine.
Rad. Okay, cool. So what's up? Well, what can I call you? You can call me Gunday. You can call me Matt.
Just call me Aaron.
Aaron. All right, I can do that. Easy to remember.
All right.
All right, I'm going through our lesson, trying to see what you wanted to go over, the lesson notes. So here, I'm going to read back what you said to me. Tell me if that's still what you want to go over, because we had like about an hour or two, but we can talk about whatever you want, man. So snowballing a lead to close out a game, and you're playing Mumu and Deanna, who are like mid-game powerhouses when they unlock their ultimate. So what are you looking for to do there exactly? Just how to do it?
Kind of like, and a lot of the time I'll wind up, usually around like 30 minutes, I'll have like a really good lead,
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh, so like
that,
what to do with a lead?
yeah, like eventually, like I'll gank the lanes, but I don't know. I feel like maybe I'm farming too much, but eventually I wind up not like doing anything relevant. Then someone on the enemy team winds up getting fed, and then like I just kind of can't do anything for the rest of the game.
That makes sense. That's a problem everywhere. Like even in Diamond, like what you have to do when you're ahead is just group and kind of like shove your lead down the enemy's throat, because otherwise you're going to derp around. Someone important is going to get caught out, and then they'll take Baron and do the same thing to you or something like
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah.
So how do you stop them from doing that? Yeah, we can go over that, sure.
All right.
The other things, I'm just reading these. Correct me if I'm interpreting them wrong. Keeping track of the enemy jungler so I can counter gank, or be in a position to take another objective if I see the jungler. Okay, cool. We can go over that. You ward his jungle, which is the easiest one, but you usually don't see him. Okay, here, I can go over some logical stuff there. So tracking the enemy jungler, is that fair?
Yeah.
And then maybe on top of that, it's like, okay, I know where he is. I know where he's going to do. What should I do when he does it? Do I go to
Yeah.
counter gank? Do I take someone else that's worth more?
Because right now I feel like I'm not, like, instead of like we're in laning, you're playing against a person, I feel like I'm not playing against a person. Like I
Ah.
don't really care what the other jungler is doing in a sense.
And you're
And I
around
feel like that's
gold
a
right now,
problem.
right?
Yeah, I'm gold 4. I was gold 2 last season, and then like, yeah, I started having problems climbing again. I just kind of lost interest in trying to climb, and now I'm trying to climb again. So.
Got it. So around that MMR, like, that's probably what every jungler is feeling. He's like, I just do stuff, and then every once in a while my lanes win, every once in a while they don't. Sometimes my ganks work.
Yeah.
But you can do some stuff to really put pressure on them, and maybe it won't feel like you're playing against someone, but they'll really feel like they're playing against you if you put the right
Right.
pressure to them. So we can help with that. I can give you some tricks there. That'll be fun. You're
Alright,
playing with
that
a
sounds good.
Mumu and Diana, though, so it's a little trickier than if you're playing some early game powerhouse, because you got to get 6 to
Yeah.
be super scary, but we can still do it. Third one, when to gank and when to farm. Okay, cool. We can go over that. That's not too crazy. That's an easy one, too. All right,
Yeah.
anything else? Usually 3 is good, and like I talk a lot, by the way, so just interrupt me if I'm talking too much. I won't be offended.
that's
Just
fine.
tell me to shut up. But anything else you want to go over? Usually this will take about 2 hours. We can go super detailed, or if you think you get it, we can move on to something else.
I think that's pretty much it for now, besides maybe like what to build and when. Like that's mostly
Okay.
for a Mumu, because I usually don't know when I should build like complete like tank, and then sometimes we'll build like into like the runic echoes and the Andrews Torment and go like more damage.
Yeah, Mumu's fun because you can build him a couple different ways. Like not
Yeah.
warrior or anything, but you can
Like
build him.
a good chunk of the time I'll be building Cinder Hulk into Torment, and then just going full tank after that.
Okay, cool.
So
So-
I don't really like carry and do a lot of damage in that sense, but I mean, I think I offer more utility. But
Well,
I
it
don't know.
depends what job you're supposed to do. Maybe we start with that. So what I normally do, like the first session, it's verbal. We just kind of talk through it. By the way, I need to screen share, by the way, so you can see what I'm seeing. So let me do that before I forget. I was coaching this poor guy and was like, okay, as you can see, pointing to things that he just couldn't even see for like half an hour. So here, can you see stuff? I'm gonna like take
Yes.
notes like this. So if you are fast forwarding through the video, you don't have to like go through the boring stuff. You just be like, oh, he's typing the thing I wanted to know, and we'll just go through like that. What else? Glad we didn't screw up the time change stuff. Okay, and Amumu Diana. All right. Do you play any other junglers, by the way?
Currently, no. I mean, sometimes in normals
That's
I'll
fine.
kind of like dick around with Rek'Sai and a little bit, but for most part, I just only play those two.
That's fine. Probably want to focus on just those two. But if you're trying to climb, and like they're banned randomly, or somebody picks one, like usually 3 is the magic number because you have AP jungler that needs 6 to be really really strong, AP jungler that needs 6 to be really really strong. You probably want like an AD jungler, like Rek'Sai would be a great one that's a little bit stronger earlier.
Yeah.
So maybe like pick up Rek'Sai just so you have 3.
All right.
Because 3 is a magical number because, if 2 are banned, you have the 3rd. So always good to have. But okay, which one of these do you want to start with?
We could just start at number 1 and work our way down, I guess.
All right, these 3 actually will kind of tie together because the different situations depend on what your job's going to do. So let's talk about snowballing a lead. What I like to do is go to this site called Rift Kit, and it's just a mini Summoner's Rift, and we can just do different situations, set up different scenarios, and kind of walk through. Does this kind of make sense that like the M is the mid laner?
Yeah.
And the J is that it's pretty self-explanatory. But here, let's talk about this one. What point are you at in the game, and who are we playing? Let's start with the who are we playing. Like, give me your team, give me their team, and then we'll walk through some scenarios. Okay?
All right. I'm probably just playing Diana. I've been playing her a lot more lately.
All right, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be like your team. Okay, so jungle first. You're on Diana. All right, give me your mid, give me your top, and just go. I can type and catch up.
Mid would be. I'm just gonna list the people my friends play. So mid would be
Go for it.
Yasuo.
Yasuo. Uh-oh.
Top would be like Aurelia. ADC would be Quinn probably.
Okay. So you guys kind of have pick comps going on.
Yeah, and then support is really random. Like, just throw in like Sona.
Sona, okay. So I'm already noticing some things that your team is going to do well and some things your team is going to do poorly. Give me an enemy team. And if you have somebody that you just played against, I mean, that'd be cool too. We can talk about a real game that you just kind of lost and then be like, okay, what could we have done to not lose?
Well, 90% of the time, for some godforsaken reason, I always play against Lee Sin in the jungle. I don't know why.
That's a good thing, by the way. That's a good thing, because down in gold, usually people don't have the mechanics to really pull off Lee Sin, and they want to do the LCS big plays, but
yeah,
they can't. So that's fine. Count your blessings there. Also, if their ping is above, like, I think it's 30, you can't do all the Lee Sin things, and most people's ping is above 30, So again, don't complain about it. Like, we'll just keep that in our favor. But he is an early game pressure jungler. You're not.
Yeah.
So
usually when I play a Mumu, the enemy team has a Lee Sin, they invade me, and I get a little upset.
Yeah.
Like every time.
And that's fine. Maybe we talk about that too. Like, because you mentioned tracking the enemy jungler, so we can like get in his head a little. Be like, okay, what is he trying to do? What should you try to do? How can you, play around him? Okay, but who else? Who else? Mid top 80 carry support. Are they all Lee Sin? Do we Lee Sin to our heart?
All right. Top would probably be like Renekton.
Okay.
Mid would be like Vigar. He's pretty strong right now, I think.
Is it Vigar? Is it Vagar? Is it Vigar?
I honestly don't know. I've always just called it Vigar.
I've called it Vigard because that's what LCS calls it, but I've had 5 lessons where people have called it something slightly different, and now I'm doubting myself. But okay, I'm going to call it Vagar like you are, because that's how I know it. The short evil dude. Okay, 80 carry support. Sorry, focus. No shiny things.
Graves and Thresh.
Graves and Thresh. Okay. All right, cool. So how deep into the game do you want to go? Like what point is it? Are you ahead? How ahead are you? Like walk me through it. I'm going to throw this over to the side so we can just see who we're up against.
Probably around the time I hit 6. So.
Okay, so when do you usually hit 6? Like 10 minutes, 8 minutes? Like usually I hit 6 on my jungle, like anywhere between 6 minutes if I'm doing the fast 6 clear, or like 7:30 if I've been ganking a lot.
Yeah, I usually do the really fast 6 clear.
Okay, so you know the really fast 6 clear. That's my next question.
I keep doing. I don't know if it changed since they changed up the jungle with the mid-season update. So I've pretty much just been doing what I was doing prior to that.
What is that? Walk me through it real quick.
Which it's you clear pretty much everything except your buffs, and
Yep.
then you do the full clear, and then
Yep.
you clear the romp, and then you were 6 before, but now you have to clear like another camp.
Yeah, you have to do like scuttle or hide in a bush while one minion
Yeah.
dies. Yeah, so it's pretty
So
much
it's,
the same.
pretty much the same. Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
You can also take 1 experience quint if you don't want to have to clear that extra scuttle, but it's usually negligible. One thing you can do when you're here, if you can see my screen still, but when you're clearing your scuttle, or not your scuttle, your chickens, you can stand like right here, and if mid's pushed up, farming, then you steal a little bit of experience. You'll be 6 a little earlier. Middle.
Oh, I actually didn't even know that. That's nice.
Yeah, so that's a little trick you can do. It doesn't work if he's like shoved the enemy team in, obviously, but look for that. You really only need 1, and you're not setting him too far behind because if he gets the experience by himself, it's 100% of the experience. If you both get it, you each get 2/3 of the experience. So net, you are getting more experiences. It'll be fine. He won't be too upset about it when you hit 6 early.
All right.
Okay, so let's say it's like 8 minutes. You're level 6. Okay, so question is, looking at this comp, who do you want to gank for? Is my first thought.
Usually.
And walk me through the reasoning. Explain why. Like here, let's just go down. Let's start from top, mid, bot, and be like, okay, do I want to gank for top? Why or why not?
All right. Well, I have a bad problem of not really like thinking who I'm ganking for in a sense. Like I usually don't take into account if my teammate has CC or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'll only like take into account if the enemy champion has like escape or something.
So that might be why you're having trouble snowballing a lead, by the way.
Yeah.
So first off, on Deanna, what's your kit? Do you have CC?
Yeah, I have my E.
You have your E, so you get 1 little knock up that sucks them back in.
Yeah, not huge.
What else is your kit?
The level 6, I have my QR gap close.
So your Q,
and
the
my shield.
little crescent thing that throws in your shield, the little 3 balls that go around, and the shield, if you hit all 3 balls, it regenerates. I'm doing this for the stream as well as for you. And then your alt, the way it works is if you hit your Q, you can alt for free, and then you have another alt right after, right? So you can either wait out the other Q, alt again, get a third alt, or you just Q, alt, they flash away, you alt again, EW, whatever. So you have a lot of burst if you land your stuff. A little bit of CC, but not a lot.
Yeah, not huge.
So, okay, knowing that, let's look at top lane. Your top laner is Irelia. Tell me about Irelia.
She has her QCC, which is, it's either the big ass slow or a stun that lasts way too long.
What's the difference? When does it stun? When does it slow?
Crap. I'm pretty sure it stuns when you're at a lower health percentage than your opponent.
Yep, so when you are lower or even,
Alright.
It'll stun. If you're above, it'll just slow.
Alright.
Does she have any other CC?
No, she has the gap closer.
Yeah, how does her gap closer work? And again, I'm asking this just to see where your game knowledge is too, because it's our first time talking.
Resets on kills, so dash to a minion, reset it, dash to them.
Okay.
Ideally, anyway.
What's the rest of her kit? Any other CC?
No other CC. Her 6 is long-ranged poke and healing, pretty much. And her W is true damage. With lifesteal built in. Yeah. It's the weird thing.
I don't actually know the buttons. I'm going to trust you on that.
I'm not sure on the buttons. I thought that's how it was, and if I'm wrong, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. No, you're fine. I'm checking one thing. I couldn't remember if her ultimate slowed or not. I don't think it did, but I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. It does not. Okay, good.
Okay.
I was right in my head. But yeah, so she doesn't have a lot of CC. She has a stun, and that's it. So if you went top on this Renekton, tell me about him. What does he have?
He has his Slice and Dice, which is his E to get away. And he has his W, which is his stun.
So how do Renektons usually play the lane? Like what's their combo? What's their laning pattern?
Usually try to get Fury, E in, stun Q, E out. Yep. Generally until they're low to try to kill.
So they just keep doing that over and over again. So if you're trying to gank for this Irelia, when would be a good time to gank? Just knowing that every Renekton player ever will probably do that if he doesn't know you're there.
Try to wait until his E is on cooldown is what I usually do.
Yep.
Like, I'll hide in the bush, wait for him to go in for his... At least wait for him to go in, because I don't really... On Diana, I really don't care if he does the 1 E to get away.
Yep,
because
because you can
my
just
double
follow,
gun
right?
laser. Yeah. So I usually wait for him to just hop in, because, you know, they always do.
Yep, so he hops in, he does his stun, does his Q, he hops back out. Probably when he hops in, that's when you jump in, I'm
Yeah.
assuming. And then you wait to see where he goes, throw your Q, or you just walk right up to him, and when he walks away, you E, get a free Q, alt, he dashes away, get your alt, follow like that, probably. Something like that.
Yeah.
Why would this be a good situation just with Irelia, I guess?
At that point, because when... By the time I get in there, the stun's pretty much coming off of Aurelia.
The stun's
Ideal.
gone, he doesn't have his CC, and if he just did a full burst combo on Irelia,
He has everything on cooldown.
everything's on cooldown, but what else is good about Irelia that we just went over?
She has her dash, and then
She has her
I
dash.
don't want to say her Q, her CC, whichever one that is, her E apparently.
Yeah, now what about her CC is good? He just went in and he just did damage
He
to
went
her.
and chopped her down, so now it's gonna stun.
It's probably going to stun, right? Assuming, the lane is relatively even. Now, another thing to think about, between you and Irelia, do you probably have the damage to take out Renekton? It's like level 6, so maybe he's done with an item. Maybe he's almost at a full item.
If I have red buff at the time, which I probably won't.
Yeah, you probably won't.
Clear now, so probably not enough to kill him. I can definitely probably blow Flash, minimum.
So let's go through. But we're saying if we go and gank top, and I'm just going to put notes here, probably can't kill unless he's just super low. Like if he's full health and you went to gank, maybe blow Flash. And I'm just going to type the notes here so we can see. I'll move it out of the way later. But so if we go up here, we maybe blow Flash on him. Now, against a Renekton for an Irelia, would that be amazing? Would that, win you the game?
Probably not win me the game.
Probably not. Like what's Renekton's job on their team?
Just tank, I guess. Do damage, kill the ADC.
Be tanky if the AD carry steps out of line, stun him,
Yeah.
line up a Vygar burst, line up a Graves burst, let Lee Sin insect him. But Renekton's not going to be doing DPS. His job, because the way their team is set up, you have a Graves, he's going to be doing damage. A Vagar is going to be doing a bunch of damage. A Lee Sin who's going to be scary early and then transition into a tank role. So Renekton, scary early, transition into a tank role, just be unkillable, right? So if you set him behind like a kill or two, I mean...
It's not going to do, a whole lot.
Yeah, he's just going to be tanky and use his kit, and he can lifesteal back up if he plays smart. Now, maybe you give the Irelia a kill because she can snowball off of that. Irelia's really strong this patch. Do you know why she's strong this patch?
The Trinity Force changes.
Mm-hmm. So that's one reason I could argue for, ganking in Irelia and making her strong, because Trinity Force is expensive. It takes a second to get up there.
Yeah.
What's another reason you might want to blow Renekton's Flash and maybe get him out of lane?
To grab Herald?
Yeah, actually, that's something I wanted to point out. Another thing that's good about Irelia, does she want a team fight or does she want to split push?
She for the most part, she's going to be split pushing.
Yeah, in team fights, she's not as good. She's really, really okay at a whole bunch of stuff, but not, amazing at anything, by herself, right? So she's trying to, 1v1 and find, these 3-man, 2-man fights. So Rift Herald is just something that's perfect for that kind of champion, especially one that's really strong. So one thing you could do is force this guy out. If it's around 7 minutes, that's around when the Rift Herald spawns, right? At 6 minutes. Yeah. Another thing that's kind of nice, if you're up here at 7 minutes, where's the enemy jungler probably? I talk about this in my other lessons too. I'm not sure if you checked them out.
Probably... actually, I have no idea where the enemy jungler would be at around 7 minutes.
Well, here, if you have some time, check out some of the extra lessons because I talk about it in depth. But I'll give you the Spark Notes cheat codes version. So let's say most junglers are going to start bot, right? The reason they're going to start bot, they're going to get that leash. So you finish this. When is this done, approximately, time-wise, on the clock?
Spawns in at 145, 55.
140.
I haven't been playing this game a huge amount lately. I've been taking a break.
Well, okay, well, here. What I always recommend to people, if they're not sure, just get a little sticky note, put it on your monitor. Everything spawns at 140. Do you know what the respawn timers are in these little camps and the big camps and the scuttle and all that stuff?
No. I used to. My game knowledge went to crap.
No worries. That's probably why you're getting a coaching lesson, right?
Yep.
All right. So League of Legends, jungle creep. Google started even like putting it in there. I can just go and do this, and this is the best way just to find the information. It'll be somewhere in here, right?
Yeah.
So here, let's look at the ancient Krug, or whatever. Is that the big blue buff?
I believe so.
No, this is just the regular Krugs. So here,
Oh.
spawns at a minute 40, respawns at a minute 40 later, okay? So on your sticky note, all the little camps spawn every minute and 40 seconds after you kill them.
All right.
So that's one of the reasons your fast 6 build, your clear path works, not build. Because you kill the little guys, and by the time you're done and walking back, 2 minutes has passed, and the first camp you killed is back up.
Yep.
Okay, so what about like the buffs? When do they spawn? Like after you kill them?
I think it's like 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Well, everything spawns at 140 to start.
Oh, when they originally
when they
spawn?
respawn.
When they respawn.
So let's say the common jungle path, we're up against a Lee Sin, right? So he does Krugs, then he does red, because that's what most Lee Sins do.
Yeah.
When is he going to finish this red? Probably. Krugs spawn at 140, figure, 10 seconds with a good leash. He's done at 150. He has to walk a little.
So, 210, 215-ish?
That's still fast. Maybe like 220, 230. He's done with red.
Okay.
Just because it has a lot of health, he has to hit it a bunch. Yeah. He only has like 2 abilities. Figure like 230. Right. So let's say 230, he's doing this. You're probably Deanna. You said you were doing your fast jungle clear, so you're doing Gromp. You're finishing your wolves while he's still doing this, and you're on your way to this, right? He's still finishing this. So let's say it's about 230. When is that going to respawn?
230. I don't know what the buff respawner is.
No,
it's the same as a small creep. It's not the same as a small creep.
It's not. The buffs are different, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
You can hit tab and just see it.
Yeah,
tells
you can
right?
see it. I just haven't memorized it.
So here's what you can do. For your sticky note, just type red buff respawn time, and Google knows
5
all.
minutes.
5 minutes, right? So he does it at 2:30. When's the buff going to be back up?
7:30.
7:30. Where's Lee Sin probably going to be around 7 minutes, which is when we were talking about ganking top.
Probably about his red buff.
Probably bot side looking red, then looking for a gank, right? So why would doing Rift Herald, like if you gank at 7, be like a really good decision?
Yeah.
Because he's down here.
He'd be too far away.
Yeah, and I mean, if he went up there, he'd have to take some time to travel. More likely than not, he's like, oh, the jungler's top. I'm going to do a risky insect play bot, and try to do the LCS. He's probably going to do that, or he's going to go for dragon.
Yeah.
So one thing you could do is, you force Renekton out of lane, get Irelia Rift Herald, and then you can, like I do this in my games all the time, although this week Summer Vacation is out, and it's been harder to make this work. But usually if you get a 1v1 duelist who is melee, because remember Rift Herald buff does more damage for melees than it does for range, because it's halved for range. They have the damage reduction from the buff. They have extra damage every time it charges, and it's like a static shiv. It charges pretty fast, and it lasts for 20 minutes, even if they die.
Yeah.
So if you give that to Irelia, it's like you just gave her 2 kills and 50 CS.
Yeah.
So you've essentially just ganked her lane 3 times by giving her that buff.
All right.
So
taking an early 7-minute Rift Herald, that's good to do because it takes like a while to clear.
It takes a while to clear. So that's one risk. But if you do that, one thing that's nice, you can just ignore top for the rest of the game, or at least for the next 20 minutes.
All right.
Now, so what happens if, like, let's say you get her the Rift Herald. Let's say you waste, 30 seconds to clear this, and then one of you is going to be super low afterwards.
Yeah.
Because I don't think either of you, I guess Irelia has lifesteal, but she's probably not going to be tanking it for you because it's solo queue and people are idiots. So assume you're going to be like 1 health when it's dead just because it's solo queue, and you're probably going to have to recall. So you waste a lot of time. You go top, you gank here, you don't even get a kill, you force his flash, then you get Irelia Rift Herald. So if you do that, and Irelia gets really big off of that and starts winning fights, what does that do to Lee Sin now?
It forces him to stay topside.
He can either stay top or he can ignore top and just consider it a dead lane, right? So what happens
Yeah.
if he considers it a dead lane?
Um, if he considers it a dead lane, he's going to be going mid and bot lane.
Well,
And
well, right, but let's say he ignores the Irelia. What is she going to do? That's more.
oh,
what I'm
she's
getting
just
at.
she's just going to plow through everything.
Yeah, so she's going to take a
Yeah.
tower. She clears towers pretty quickly, and then you gave her a
Yeah.
Rift Herald buff, right?
Yeah.
So she's going to be up here. What's the Renekton going to be doing while his jungler's ignoring him and he's losing fights?
Complaining mostly.
Oh, complaining. He's going to be so salty. Whose fault is it? Obviously, it's not his, right?
Nah.
So
Lee
he-
Sin's,
It's
obviously.
Lee Sin's, right? So he's going to be typing to the Lee Sin, and then the Lee Sin's going to be dealing with that while he's trying to pull off his insect combo. Maybe he's typing when you're like going to gank and you catch him in a bush. So you've
Yeah.
already created a lot of pressure because it's gold, right? You're not playing against challengers yet.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's challenger. They're just smurfing, obviously, but you're playing against their gold accounts. So doing that, it can work, but the gambit is you're going to be a little bit weaker for the next minute while you try to catch up.
Yeah.
And let's say the Irelia DCs, like right after. Or let's
Yeah.
say even worse, she's just bad. You've now given the most powerful buff in the game to someone that's not going to use it and is still probably going to whine for ganks, even though you gave her the most broken thing in League of Legends, because that's literally what the Rift Herald is right now.
All right.
Another option, what happens if you take it?
If I take it, well, Aurelia is probably going to be really upset, for starters.
First of all, I recommend giving the Rift Herald to top because the way I play is kind of like more to control the map. I play a lot of tanks like a Mumu, but if
Yeah.
you're playing Diana, she likes to kill people, right?
Oh yeah.
She's melee. She's going to be moving around a lot, so she's going to be building those stacks. Another thing that's nice about the Rift Herald buff, it increases your damage to everything too, right? So you're going to be just flying through your jungle. So even if you give up 30 seconds and have to recall after doing this, it's worth because you just got 2 kills and 50 CS worth of stats, right? And you're going
Yeah.
to be able to just plow through your jungle and catch back up in about a minute. So one thing to consider, like if you're watching the Irelia, maybe when you gank, she's just AFK at tower. Maybe she's complaining about not getting ganks while you're ganking or something.
Yeah.
Ping down here, get the Rift Herald, and then just take it.
Yeah.
It's
'Cause
better.
yeah, most of the time I just kind of like just blindly give it to my top laner.
And that's good, but it's better.
Yeah.
Like I'm assuming you want to win more of your games, right?
Yeah.
So I would play it out if you're watching the top laner. Like I like to watch my lanes when I'm jungling and figure out, okay, are they winning lane? I can tab and see, are they up in CS? Are they trading well? Maybe
Yeah.
they're lagging and just walking into tower. I'm probably not going to give them the Rift Herald, right? But if
Yeah.
they're like shitting on the enemy laner or it's close and I can tell they're a good player, then I'll give them the Rift Herald and then I can ignore them for the rest of the game. And I'll tell them that. I'll be like, all right, I gave you Rift Herald. Have fun. I'm going to go snowball the rest of the lanes now. Something like that, right?
Yeah.
So feel it out. If they're good, I would give it to them. If they're playing something range, like I've had Graves top, Quinn top, or
Yeah.
Rise, they're not going to be able to use it as much because melee you get more damage. So maybe you take it, even on a Mumu.
All right.
But that's one thing you can do. Now I'm not saying you have to, but that's one thing you can do. Okay, so that was top. What happens if we gank from mid? And
If I
mid is
gank
up
from-
against Yasuo versus Veigar.
Yeah. If I gank for mid, Vhagar doesn't have an escape, so I'd probably just wait for him to blow his event horizon.
Yep.
Hopefully miss it and then jump on him.
So he does kind of have an escape. That event horizon is his escape. It's
Yeah.
like you're playing Diana, right? If he
Yeah.
drops it on top of you and you try to Q through it, what happens?
I lose horribly.
Yeah, you just get stunned. He drops a burst in your face. He spams his mastery mode. It's sad. It's not a good time. So it's smart that you're already saying, okay, I'm going to hide in the shadows and, wait for that. One thing to notice, mid lane, right? By definition, it's in the middle of the map. So you have to be thinking about, if I'm going to gank mid, who's probably going to show up a few seconds later to counter gank?
Yeah, probably Lee Sin.
Probably Lee Sin. So you're thinking if you're going to gank the Vhagar, you want something quick.
Yeah.
Or you'll have to think, okay, if Lee Sin comes, can Yasuo and I win the 2v2?
Yeah.
So at level 6, you have your ult. Lee Sin has his ult. Yasuo has his ult. How do you and Yasuo work together? Walk me through how this gank will go and explain how this is going to happen.
I'll generally be waiting. Probably, I don't know where I'd be waiting, depending on the situation if he's pushed up or not. But I'll be waiting nearby.
So let's say
I'll wait for
Yasuo
him.
has a pink ward there for you.
Okay, so
So you wait for the event horizon to be
I'll
dropped.
wait for that, and as soon as not as soon as it goes away, a little bit before I know it's gonna fade away, I'll try to go in.
Because what's going to happen? Like he drops it on the Yasuo. Is he just going to like walk away now that the event horizon is dropped?
Oh, Vagar will probably try to. I honestly don't know.
He'll walk up and try to do a burst
Yeah,
combo, right?
he's gonna walk up, try to hit him a bit, but if he doesn't stun, I don't know if he's gonna stick around.
If he doesn't stun, the way Vagar's kit works, what are Vagar's abilities? Walk me through. He has the event horizon, which
he has the event horizon. He has his skill shot,
which stacks AP. Yep. What's his other one?
The meteor thing that drops down.
So what he would probably do is target that right in the middle. Here, I'm just drawing it, but it'll be there. A few seconds later, it'll drop down, right? Yasuo will probably not just stand there and let it hit him. He'll probably dodge to one side or the other. Whatever side he goes to, Veigar will walk that way, throw a Q, throw an ult, probably.
Yep.
Maybe he hangs on to the ult. It depends how low the Yasuo is, but he'll hit him with some harass, and then he'll probably walk back, wait for that cooldown.
Yeah.
So you see that happen. He's gonna walk up. I like that you wait for it to fade a little and then you go in. Walk me through what happens
once it
next.
starts to fade, I'll try to QR and then as soon as possible try to E him so Yasuo can get right on him with his ult.
Nice. That's what we were thinking.
Yeah. I do know that Diana Z is a knockup. My person I duo with is Yasuo main, and I play Diana a lot.
Oh, that's perfect. So if you're duo with this guy, you probably want to prioritize this. Now, now Veigar, are you going to be able to burst him? Is he going to survive because he's super tanky? Well, what about him?
He'll probably get bursted pretty fast.
He'll probably get blown up.
Especially through a Yasuo ult and 2 of my ults.
Yep. So you have a lot of damage, he has a lot of damage, but you're a little reliant on landing that Q.
Yeah. It's all reliant on the Q pretty much. I mean, even if I miss it, a lot of times I'll just ult at him and then E him because I'm pretty confident, in my friend at least, he can
follow up
slack where I left off.
So another thing to think about, when would you normally queue? Like here, if you're watching the screen, like do you walk in and just queue here?
No. I'll try to just get closer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I know he has his flash up and I see a Lee Sin nearby, Lee Sin, say as soon as I start walking in, I see a Lee Sin right there.
Follow behind.
I'll probably try to queue sooner so I can burst him down sooner so he can turn into a 2v1 on Lee Sin. But for the most part, I'll try to play it safe and queue a little later.
All right, good. But most people will just throw the Q. Like on a Mumu, that's important too. Because if you just walk in, you throw your Q, they can flash it. Or what happens if you just miss it, right?
Yeah. If you miss the Q on Amumu or Diana, your gank is not great anymore.
So better just to walk in, like you said. Watch which way he's going to dodge. I always tell my students this, but if you hold on to your CC or your gap closer, like your Mumu Q, your Diana Q, what they'll start doing is they'll try to dodge it. And it's really funny watching them. They usually serpentine.
Yeah.
And when they do that, they're not actually going anywhere, so you can just keep walking straight into them.
They just don't know what to do.
And then when you get close, you just W, E, Yasuo ult. Very easy to land a Q when he's stationary.
Yeah.
So that's the thing you can do. Okay. Another thing, worst case scenario, you get close, he flashes away. You can always just ult if he flashes your Q and then E, and then it's fine. A little less burst, but better than him getting away.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. Why would it be good to snowball the Yasuo in this situation?
For one, he's my duo partner. For two, Yasuo generally snowballs pretty hard as long as they're somewhat competent.
What happens if he doesn't get ahead?
If he doesn't get ahead, he just kind of flops around for 35 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. What will Veigar do to him if both players are about equal skill? How's that lane gonna go?
If they're about equal skill and Veigar gets a little bit ahead of the Yasuo, it's generally not that great, especially with the changes to his ult not scaling off of AP or enemy AP. My bad. So Veigar starts to kind of shit on him.
The way to think about Veigar, he is an AP Nasus. So given enough time, he is going to be very scary. I saw Skara had a game a while back. He was trying Veigar mid. He got to 28 minutes in the game clock, and he had 1,000 AP. Because he just didn't miss a stack with his Q. He was fed because he didn't miss a stack with his Q and just had items too. He got a death cap and it multiplies all his AP. He just had 1,000 AP. So if
Yeah.
you leave the Yasuo alone, I mean, probably Vagar, if he's good, he isn't just going to walk into Yasuo and get burst down. He's probably just going to stay back, let Yasuo push the lane and just farm at his tower.
Yeah.
He can do that, right? And then eventually it'll get to a point where, oh, Yasuo dashes in, event horizon, boom, dead, because of 1,000 AP.
Mm-hmm.
And Yasuo, he might have his death stance, he might have his Maw Malmortius, but 1,000 AP is a lot of AP.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to kind of go to this lane, especially if Yasuo is letting the lane push up. Most Yasuo players will just shove the lane and try to fight, or use the minions to dash in and try to do damage, but I don't know how good or bad your friend is.
He's solid.
Okay,
He's
so
he's not challenger, but
But-
he's gold as well. So
but okay, he knows basically how to play
Yeah.
Yasuo mechanically. Okay.
yeah, it's the only champion he plays.
Okay, he's a one trick too. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's fine. But looking at this matchup, this is something that if you don't touch, it's going to get out of hand and it's going to be a bad time.
Yeah.
So already thinking like Irelia, if you leave her alone, Renekton's going to build tanky. She's going to get Triforce, and she's probably going to be just fine. Even if he gets a good trade, she can heal over Kit, right?
Yeah.
So already, if we're looking in the hierarchy, who do I gank for, mid or top? Probably looking to focus more mid.
Yeah.
What's another reason it's good to get mid laners ahead? Just generically, mid laners in general.
Generally because they can roam as well.
They
if
can
they
roam.
gotta shove out the lane, roam.
They can go bot. They can go top.
Yeah.
Why else is it good to get mid laners ahead?
They're generally like the second carry of the team. Like
Yeah.
they scale well into the late game, do most of the damage.
A very generic, basic, fundamental League of Legends question. Why do you usually send gold-hungry champions mid?
They because they're the damage dealers.
So they're the damage dealers, and they need gold, right? So why
yeah.
mid? Why not top? Why not bot with a support?
So they can roam better.
No, actually.
What is it?
This is the shortest lane on the map, distance-wise.
Oh yeah.
So if it's the shortest lane, what does that mean happens?
You can get back to it faster.
You can get back to it faster. What else can get back to it faster?
The minions, the enemy,
The
jungler.
minions. Yeah, you actually mid get more minions than you do bot or top in the same amount of time. Because let's say you're bot, right? Like, I mean, you can just see it here. This line, they come out of here, right? It has to go all the way here.
Yeah.
Mid has to go all the way here. Which line is longer? I mean, you can just use your eyes, right?
The bottom one.
So over enough time, the minions actually get to mid faster. You have more gold, more experience being funneled mid, right?
Yeah.
So if you
So,
get your
yeah.
mid laner ahead, it's easier for them to snowball because they have more resources to snowball with. And if you
Alright.
kill the enemy mid laner, they are literally losing more resources because
Because it's going by faster.
more minions are going by faster because there's less of them. So
Yeah.
So just very basic, fundamental League of Legends stuff. That's why you see that AP burst mage mid, that really needs a whole bunch of farm and gold. It's because it's a lane with the most farm and gold.
Yeah.
Now, why not send the AD carry there? I mean, AD carries need farm and gold too, right?
Because aren't they like just generally a lot weaker early game, which is why the support role is kind of there.
Exactly. That's why. Why don't you send the AD carry top? Why not send the support top? Put top lane
Same
bot.
reason. They're just because why not? Oh, okay. Because more players near dragon. At least that's how I always thought of it.
Yeah, that is actually why.
Okay.
Another reason. It actually might make sense in the meta sometimes to send these guys top
For Rift Herald control.
for Rift Herald control if you want to be doing that. But the meta hasn't changed. I mean, even if LCS teams do it, nobody in solo queue is going to do it because everybody's been doing it for so long. But
Yeah.
generally, the AD carry and support are bot because the AD carry is so weak early. Like if you send him mid against, think about an AD carry versus a Fizz mid. It's not going to be a good time for the AD carry, right? So that's why you send him bot where there's a Braum or something babysitting.
Yeah.
But you usually send them bot for more control over this dragon. Now, because Rift Herald exists now, and because Rift Herald's very strong, you could make an argument for sending him top. But also, then if your top laner can't 1v2, and you said your top laner is Irelia versus a ranged marksman and a support with CC, what's probably going to happen?
Just gonna get kited to hell.
You're going to get kited to hell. So like if you guys were in a 5-man group and you really wanted the Rift Herald early, maybe you send these guys top, just shit on the Renekton for a while, get the Rift Herald, and then you switch back.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something you could do, but
Right.
Don't worry about that. This is gold. I'm assuming you're not playing with 5 people. But,
no, not usually.
But that's the reason mid laners are usually mid. They want to funnel more golden experience. They get more resources, and they can roam and use those resources more powerfully. That's why mid is the most desirable role in League of Legends. It has the most carry potential because it literally has the most resources at its disposal.
All right. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And bot lane is usually bot because, you need someone to babysit the AD carry, and you want 2 people guarding the dragon because the dragons are really, really strong and have been historically. But you can make that same argument for Rift Herald, too. So I don't know. But yeah, it's something to think about. All right, so very good to snowball mid. Right now, I'm thinking you probably want to do that because let's say you kill the Veigar. What's another thing you can do with Yasuo?
Go either double gank bot, grab dragon, grab Rift Herald.
Grab Rift Herald. Sure, we just talked about Virelia. I mean, you just killed the mid laner.
Yeah.
Drop a ward here, drop a ward here. Maybe put a pink here because he's your duo and he'll buy one. And then cool, Irelia's keeping Renekton busy top. Veigar's dead. He's back in base, crying about not getting ganks from his jungler. Just get this. And here, same kind of thought experiment. Do you want to put it on Yasuo or you?
Yasuo generally.
Why Yasuo?
He's probably going to be doing like the same thing Aurelia would be doing, and just like he's melee.
Melee is the first check. Yep.
Yeah, he's going to be shoving and roaming.
Gonna be roaming. Yeah. And it also gives him damage reduction, which is really good against a burst caster.
Yeah.
So just something to think about. You could do that. Rift Herald right now is the most broken thing in League of Legends, statistically.
All right.
So be looking to control that. And if you control it early, no one is doing that. So
yeah, that's one of my problems. I haven't really been controlling Rift Herald in any of my games.
No worries, but just an option.
Yeah.
And it's very good if you know the Lee Sin started down here like around 7-8 minutes. Just go up there and do it because he's probably just blindly doing his red buff, doing the PvE thing where he's just farming for a while looking for ganks. But if you actually plan out your route, go get a gank, then do this, what's he gonna do? I mean, even if he jumps in, you can probably just kill him, right?
Yeah.
All right, so mid, we talked about ganking. Let's talk about bot. You have a Quinn and you have a Sona, so tell me about both of them. And you're up against a Graves and a Thresh. So tell me about your bot lane, then tell me about theirs.
We have a level 6. We have not great CC, but it's there if Sona can land her ult, whatever it's called. I can't remember. Crescendo, probably. Yeah. I don't know. Not important.
Yeah, her ult is just an AoE stun that makes people
AoE
dance and does damage, yeah.
And then Quinn has her hop for a really small CC.
Mm-hmm. But what other CC do you have? Sona does have a little more.
Oh, Sona has her slow on her.
But it's wimpy.
Yeah, it's not great.
A little bit of slow. Okay, so tell me about damage. Does Sona have any damage?
Yeah, generally.
Yeah, she's got some damage early.
She's got okay early damage.
Most Sonas I see are running like a full AP page anyway, just because they think it's fun.
Yeah, and hopefully by the time I come to gank, they're going to be poked down a bit already because of Sona.
Yep. What about Quinn? What is Quinn?
Quinn has her blind, which is really strong if she lands it.
Yeah, very good for dueling. What else?
Her gap closer with her vault. And then she has her W to see if Lee Sin's nearby.
Yeah, so you can see if he's in a bush, but that's not really going to add anything damage.
Yeah, it's not adding anything to the gank, but it'll still help to know.
So probably the gank you want, maybe Sona's baiting, Quinn is 6 at this point. She although if you're 6, it's 7 minutes, they're still level 4, level 5, I'm assuming. But so let's say it's that. Like you did your fast clear, it's like 6 minutes, 30 seconds, you just killed Gromp. Now you're like level 5 and 1 minion away from being 6, and you're just sitting here, and Sona has a pink ward, so you're not seen. Lee Sin is probably like doing this because he did like the full clear. He did do look for a gank, do be backed. He then did this. He's somewhere up here.
All right.
So you're down here. This is probably a safe gank. You're like level 5.5. These guys are like level 4 probably. Tell me about the enemy bot lane now.
So level 4 it's Graves Thresh.
Yep.
Graves has his blind, which is
smoke screen. Yep.
It's a little annoying. It's not like hugely detrimental to my gank. It's not going to screw me.
It has a 25% slow, which is pretty minimal.
Yeah.
What else is Graves?
He has his Q, which is just damage, and he has his E to escape, but it's not like a huge escape.
Well,
So it's nothing I'm worried about.
his Q does damage, and then a few seconds later it does more damage. If it
Does
hits a
more damage.
wall, it does damage than damage because it immediately explodes. That's why
Yeah,
Graves Jungle is pretty good.
Does it do more damage if it hits a wall, like in general? Or is it the
I
same
think
no
it's
matter
the
what?
same, but it's faster. But let's see. I don't know. Anytime we don't know, just type Graves Wiki and let's just read. Let's learn together. So end of the line is his Q. Active. Graves fires around in the target direction that deals physical damage to all enemies it passes through and leaves behind a powder trail. After 2 seconds or after 0.25 seconds upon impact with a structure or terrain, the round detonates, dealing physical damage. Okay, so it looks like it just detonates
Looks
faster.
like it's the same. Okay.
Yeah, still the same. But it does a bunch of damage if you just stand in it and get blasted. So
Yeah. Solid boost.
yeah,
His,
but if you're not sure, just look it up. Like if it's the loading screen, just look up the champions you're up against. Just read them real quickly.
Yeah. And he has a 25% slow, and he has his E, which is a gap closer, and gives him early game. It's fairly minimal stats for armor and magic resist.
Now, what's weird about Graves compared to other AD carries? I'm thinking like his passive.
His 2-shot passive thing that has to reload.
So he has
a pass through units, and there's a whole line of text involving it.
He actually has a shotgun, right? So he pretty much has 2 shots. It's kind of cool. Walls actually will stop it. So if you ever see a Graves and you want to ruin his day, play like a Nivea, play Trundle, play Jarvan, actually. If you ult somebody and Graves is in the backline, his shotgun won't go through the Jarvan ult, which is hilarious. So just weird stuff that people don't know. But anyway, so he has 2 shots, then he has to reload. So going back to his E, which you said is nothing, it's not nothing. It does give him some stuff. What does his E do?
His E, that's his dash. It's an escape, and it gives him armor and magic resist that stacks the more times he uses it.
So it gives him tankiness, but also it reloads 1 shell when he dashes. So he can auto dash auto again real fast.
Mm-hmm.
So don't count it out. It's not nothing, but yeah, it'll make him a little tankier.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty much Graves, and then he won't have his ult at this point if he's level 5.
No.
But if he did, his ult is like big damage that like fans out when it hits something, and it fires him backwards. So it's kind of an escape.
Yeah.
But not really.
Yeah. The big thing in the lane is going to be Thresh, I think.
TY Double Gut in the chat is saying he learned a great dueling tip against Graves from the LCS this weekend. Made me think Graves is kind of wimpy if you invade him mid camp. Yeah, if he's reloading, he can't shoot you. That's all he's saying. So if you were gonna fight the Graves, when would you want to go in?
Right as he's firing the second shot mid reload.
Yeah, definitely. Or if maybe watch him a little. Like whenever I'm like roaming down, I'm looking at the lane I'm gonna gank. Maybe he's auto E immediately every single time, right?
Yeah.
So if he's doing that when you're sitting in this bush at the pink ward, he's probably gonna auto E, and then he doesn't have an escape.
Yeah.
It makes it easier to land your Q. Okay, sorry, I interrupted you. You were telling me about Thresh. Apologies.
So if I'm ganking this lane, I'm mostly going to be looking at Thresh more than Graves. I mean, I'm going to be trying to kill Graves, but I'm going to be more worried about what Thresh can do to me.
Why?
Because his hook, if he does wind up landing my hook, which isn't actually super hard if you know how to play Thresh, because I have to jump at Graves in a straight line. So if he throws his hook at the right time, it kind of just screws up my entire gank really hard because I won't get my reset.
There's 2 things.
And then the flay as well.
Yeah. I was going to say that the hook and the flay can interrupt your ult dash.
And then his lantern also screws me up if he's farther back.
So if he's standing right here, because his support senses are tingling and he senses a gank happening, because the enemy bot lane just started ignoring all the CS, and are just running at you. A good Thresh, is he going to go in and fight?
No, he's just going to whip his lantern and keep walking.
Yeah, he's going to throw his lantern, and keep walking. Graves grabs this, whoop, back here. So if you are ganking, do you run at Graves or do you run at Thresh?
I'd probably run towards Graves, but, now that you're saying this, I feel like the correct answer would be try to go towards Thresh.
It kind of depends what you're trying to do, too.
All right.
Because, like, let's say Sona's 6. Let's say Thresh throws the lantern, right? What can Sona do to Graves to stop him from getting the lantern?
Just drop the ult.
Drop the ult. And then you can zone Thresh out, and when he gets, like, he throws the lantern from here, right? There's a circle about, it's bigger than that. It's like this big,
Yeah.
maybe. But if you can get him out of that circle, suddenly
So-
Graves can't grab the thing. Another thing you can do if Graves is dancing, just burst him down because you're Deanna, right?
Yeah.
If you're really good, this is hard to do, but if you're really good, I saw this once. I don't know if you can actually do this. You have to tell me because I don't play Deanna. But I
Them
think
out of the lantern.
you can E him out of the lantern.
I think you can too. I've never done it. I've never had like the reaction time.
Like I kind of want to try that in a custom game just to see. But I think you can do that because I have actually I play a lot of Sejuani. I've queued people out of a lantern, like mid lantern. I've intercepted them with my headbutt thing.
If you can headbutt them out, then you should be able to moonfall them out.
Yeah, you'll get all the Pog champs and stuff from Twitch chat if you can do that. But just something to consider. So like if you guys are really on point, Thresh throws his lantern, he's running away. Sona ults, you just burst him down. Maybe Sona has Ignite too, so that helps. And then right at the last second, you E so he can't grab the lantern.
Yeah.
That's one thing. You can also stand on the lantern. It'll make it hard to click. A trick, though, that the enemy team can do to grab the lantern, or you can do if you have a Thresh on your team, if it's in the middle of a bunch of minions and there's like a big fat like Malphite on top of it, you can actually use the scroll button on your mouse, this guy, and zoom in. And what that'll do is it'll make the lantern bigger and easier to click. But that's just a weird mechanical thing. So I don't know if Graves in Gold knows that, but that's the thing you can do. So let's say that's an option, but if they're not 6, probably what's going to happen is Thresh is just going to throw his lantern, right? So you're hoping that he's up here. Otherwise, this is going to be a bad gank. Like, there's a magical line that comes from, like, the river going kind of like through here, right? Mm-hmm. If they're past it, if Thresh specifically is past it, you can get a kill. Now, do you focus the Graves or the Thresh?
The Graves.
I disagree.
Really?
And the reason I disagree is Graves, he has that E that makes his true grit or whatever the hell it's called, that makes him extra tanky, right? It's early game, so people don't have a lot of damage. Like let's say everybody's full health, and you're going to gank, which is kind of a bad time to gank because usually you want to gank when it's a sure thing.
Yeah.
Let's say you blow your entire combo on Graves. He burns heal halfway through it. Quinn jumps in, is autoing a few times. Sona throws her peel. Her Ignite's on cooldown because she used it already or whatever. Graves has like a third health left. What is Thresh doing while all this is happening?
Filleting, throwing down the box.
Well, he's like level 4, let's say.
Oh, level 4. He's probably just trying to back up, throw his lantern, flame me off.
He's just gonna walk here. He's gonna throw his lantern. If you follow with like your ult after that, then he's gonna flay.
Yeah.
And then if you keep following, he's gonna hook you and pull you into tower.
Yeah.
So let's do this again. That's what happens if you go on the Graves. What happens if you go on the Thresh?
If I jump onto Thresh, Graves is going to be sitting there auto-attacking, but...
But how many auto attacks does he have?
He has the double shot, plus the reset, so...
And he's only level
generally.
4, so does he have a lot of damage yet? Does he have a lot of items?
He doesn't really have a whole lot of damage.
What else do you have in your kit that is really good against periodic damage?
My shield.
Your shield, which is probably going to reset if you're in the middle of 2 people and minions, right?
Yeah.
So don't worry about the damage is what I'm trying to say. Maybe he turns on your bot lane, but let's say you jump on Thresh. What is your bot lane probably going to do? And you're going to be pinging the Thresh. You're going to be clicking G on your keyboard and targeting the Thresh.
Well, my bot lane will probably still be hitting the Graves.
Probably because they're bad, but let's say the stars align, you have people with brains.
Ideally, they'd follow up on who I'm attacking.
Okay, so you focus down the Thresh, you take him out, then what is Graves going to do?
Graves is probably going to keep running away because we blew everything on Thresh, so... Yep. I mean, ideally we could kill Graves too, but I don't see it happening, but he might have to flash away. He's
probably going to heal to save the Thresh. You can still kill him. Thresh might burn his exhaust if he has it, or his Ignite, depending on who's the juicier target. So at most you burn 2 summoners if you go on the Thresh.
Yep.
If you don't go on the Thresh, I think Thresh backs, throws his lantern, and they get out scot-free more often than not.
All right.
So already it's kind of a better decision mathematically just to go for the support if he's up that far.
Yeah.
Now,
if he's not, then...
If he's back here, like, why are you ganking? You're probably on a ward. Like, maybe there was a ward, like, here or here or something that saw you, right? Because there's a reason he's back there.
Yeah.
But if they're past this magical line, what you want to do, just because it's a Thresh and because he has that lantern which can save the Graves, is go in there, take out the Thresh, turn on the Graves, blow his flash, then just back out. Good job. Now your lane is winning, and now the Graves should be zoned out of farm because Sona's going to sit right here while your AD carry freezes the lane. Yeah. Or you push it up and then you dive him a few seconds later. I mean, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
So, okay, kind of makes sense?
Yep.
All right, so what are the pros and cons of doing that? Like, let's say you gank bot. Does Quinn need gold? Does Sona need gold? Do you need gold?
Sona doesn't need gold. Quinn does need gold from farming and stuff.
Sona likes gold, by the way.
Yeah. So, yeah.
She's a weird support, but if you get, like, some items on Sona, she actually hurts a little.
Yeah.
But generally supports are supports because they don't need gold to function. You're not wrong there. But Quinn, do we want Quinn to have gold?
Yes.
Why would it be good to get Quinn fed? What's weird about her kit? For snowballing leads, since that's what we're talking about.
Because of her, at least when I haven't played a lot of Quinn, I don't see her being played much often, but her Harrier passive, I think it's called, makes her do like a crap ton of damage, and she's also really hard to kill because of the blind in the vault. So she's really good at just killing everybody.
Powell on Twitch chat is saying Sona loves gold, lets her buy her Lich Bane early. So okay, we already have some proponents of my get the support fed strategy, which may or may not be the best thing to do, guys. But one thing to think about with Quinn, if you're talking about snowballing advantages, what does her ult do?
Makes her be able to roam and engage really easily because she flies at like Mach 10.
Makes her go at Mach 10. Makes her have extra damage when she comes out of it. So, like, let's say you're trying to get Yasuo fed against that Veigar, and you're like, hey, Quinn, I noticed you just pushed up the lane. I'm about to gank mid. Maybe you'd like to, you're typing this, and you're talking in that voice, because that's how you talk, obviously. But, you just suggest, hey, let's kill mid and then get dragon, because it's an Infernal Dragon, and AD carries love Infernal Dragon. It's their favorite thing to do. Sometimes they just do it when you're not even there of smite, right? So, you can shot call and be like, Quinn, come gank mid. So if you give her the gold, extra experience, she gets 6 sooner, she gets items sooner, and then you're like, Quinn, let's roam and kill mid. You plant that seed in her brain, and then you say, let's roam and kill mid so we can take Infernal Dragon, so we can take tower and get more gold for you to get more items. I always phrase it like that because it feels like AD carry players are like, no, I need to farm so I can get my, wait, towers are worth gold too? Okay. But okay, you know what I mean? Sure. You gotta kind of like lead them along. So if you set that up, she's 6, she forces these guys out of lane or pushes the wave up, she roams through here, cool. Now you've just created your mini goon squad. Yeah. And she already knows you're good at shot calling because you got her that beautiful gank early, right? So
all right.
So that's one thing to think about. So let's say that it's 6 minutes 30 seconds. You did your goofy clear where you do Gromp, Wolves, Chickens, Krugs, back, Gromp blue, Wolves, Chickens, red, Krugs, back. You come here, you do the Gromp, you're like level 6. Let's say you're just level 6 because you stole some experience while doing Chickens one of the times.
Alright.
Who are you going to gank and why? Walk me through the logic. And you're right here, so probably top lane's out.
Yeah, if I'm right there, generally I'm going to be wanting to gank mid over bot lane, just because I usually find it a lot easier to gank mid lane, for one. For two, I'm probably duoed with the mid laner, but assuming I'm not, whichever one's pushed out more and whichever one I think is doing better.
Thank you. Okay, so which one is doing better? That's important. Because, like, let's say these guys are 0-2, and they're here. Like, you're the orange team here. I'm sorry. Yeah. So they're turtling against a Thresh and a Graves. They're not turtling. They're pushed up against that. They don't have any wards. Like, the map is completely dark. You have no idea where Lee Sin is. It's around 6 minutes and 30 seconds. We said that his red buff is going to be back up around 7:30, so he's probably going to be over here soon.
Yep.
So probably don't want to go down there if that's the case.
No, definitely not.
So let's say mid looks like this. Your duo with your Yasuo, so I'm assuming you're using voice.
Yeah.
Easy decision. But let's say it's even. Let's say both lanes look gankable. And by gankable, what are we looking for? You already said part of it, but tell me about it.
Yeah, if I think my laners are competent, for one, if they're doing well.
Here, so let's do that. I'm going to
pushed up.
Win to gank a lane. Here. 1. Are laners competent? That's a good one. Because if they're not, like if you give gold to an idiot, what is the idiot going to do with it?
throw it away. Pretty
Throw
much.
it away. It's gonna be a waste. Don't give
Yeah.
gold to idiots. How can you tell if they're competent?
Just
We
by,
talked about it a little earlier. What are some of the
Yeah.
tells for competence?
seeing if they're trading well, if they're just shoving up, if they're just like lagging, and if they're CSing well. I usually check at CS as well.
Uh-huh.
Um,
I mean, that's a good way to do it. Well, what's another thing you can do that's like very simple, but you might not be thinking about it? Here, I'll make this bigger.
I can't think of it.
I'll give you a hint. You can hit tab to see it.
Oh, if the kills.
Well, kills, sure.
Sure.
That's an obvious one.
If my guys have summoners.
Summoners, that's a good one. Here,
Yeah.
we'll put that in. That's not what I was looking for, but that's a good
Oh,
one.
okay.
Like if you don't have flash and your ignite up, you're less likely.
Yeah.
What's another thing to tell if your laners are competent? Because if their summoners are down, you can still be competent. It just means you use your flash to not die because you're competent.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's actually get rid of that because that's not a competence thing. That's just a do you have flash up to make plays?
Well,
Well, let's say you
if
look
they're
at
building
Yasuo.
closely.
Yes.
Yeah.
You hit tab and Yasuo is almost done with his Zhonya's hourglass. Do you want to gank for your Yasuo?
Probably not.
Because he's trolling. So no. Or I don't know. Maybe he's a god and he's doing the Zhonyas because he really likes doing the solid gold bad manners of his level 7 mastery emote. I don't know. I played a game the other day on stream where I was like Pantheon and I built Zhonyas because I was up against a Zed and it actually made sense
Yeah.
because he would just kill me because I was bad at laning as Pantheon because I had never done it before. And then once I built it, I started winning. But I'm assuming against a Veigar, you're not going to be doing
Probably
that.
not. No.
Probably not. So hit tab and be like, wow, this Ashe sure has a lot of boots, or whoever you're like
Yeah.
ganking for. That's one thing you can tell.
Yeah.
Because in gold, I don't know how crazy it is. Like in Diamond 5 and Gold 5, that's where a lot of the ELO boosted accounts end up.
Yeah.
Because people like to get to gold for the season rewards. People like to get diamond for the shiny border. So you get a bunch of players that just don't know what the hell they're doing sometimes.
Yeah.
So hit tab. Make sure they're not building like 9, Rabadon's death caps on their Yasuo with no AP scaling. Just something like that. It's your duo, so I'm assuming he's not, but that's something you can do.
To be fair, Yasuo Z scales off of AP.
That's true. You're right. I don't play Yasuo. Maybe that's the optimal build now. I haven't seen in the LCS. Doesn't mean they haven't. Maybe they haven't just been paying attention to the Korean scenes yet.
Alright.
Yep. And Pantheon, by the way, does have AP scaling. My chat is defending my decision, which is hilarious. His ult and his W have AP scaling, but whatever.
Yeah.
So do that. That's good. Okay, what's the second thing you want to look for? I like summoners. I'm going to just put that down there 'cause that's a good one. Do they have flash? Do they have your offensive stuff? Are teleports available? Stuff like that, right?
Yeah. If check to see if the lane is pushed up. If they have pink wards nearby.
Lane positioning.
Yeah.
I'm going to say wards just in general because,
Yeah.
pink wards nearby on your team, you know that there aren't enemy wards. That's why the pink ward's important, right?
Yep.
If you know the lane is completely warded, what can you do?
If I know the lane's completely warded, I'll know that Lee Sin's not nearby, and also that the top laner can TP in.
Let's say that the enemy lane is warded, meaning that there are enemy wards everywhere. Literally, the Veigar bought a sight stone, and there are wards on all sides of the mid lane.
Yeah, if there's wards everywhere, they're probably going to be backing off as soon as they see me. I'm not going to get anything.
Right.
Lee Sin will be on the way.
So your mid laner is duo with you. He's like, oh, I just saw Veigar place wards here, here, and here. What are you going to do as a jungler? Are you
Either
going to
try
walk
gank-
through them?
No, walk through somewhere else, or just clear them with a sweeper or the chicken buff.
Okay, so let's give some options. Just because seriously, this is important because one of your questions was when do I gank, when do I farm?
Yeah.
And that's something we're going to go through. But let's say mid lane is warded. How long do wards last?
I want to say a minute. I don't
You're
remember.
not wrong sometimes. But
Is the trinkets early on last around a minute?
yeah, so here, let me just show you. So first of all, is Veigar going to buy wards ever?
Probably not.
He's not going to get a jungle item, so that one's out. He's probably not going to get a sight stone, and you can tab to see if he has one. So that one's out.
Didn't they remove
buying the normal wards from the shop
You
this season.
cannot buy normal wards anymore.
Yeah.
What can you buy that gives vision?
The pink wards.
Pink ward. He can only buy one pink ward at a time. I mean, he can buy 10 of them, but you only place one at a time, right?
Yeah.
So he might have one pink ward. You can always be hitting tab to see if he bought one when he comes back to lane, which he should do.
Yeah.
But here, I'm gonna do yellow trinket league legends. Just Google it, and here trinket item comes up. We'll click it. So here's what we're looking at. If you look, consume a charge to place an invisible stealth ward, which reveals the surrounding area for 60 to 120 seconds. So how long is 120 seconds in minutes?
2 minutes.
And it's 120 at level 18, I believe.
Yeah,
Is that
it's
right?
weird that doesn't say that.
I think this hover over usually says when, but it's just not doing it for me.
I think it's
TY Double Gut
early.
says level 9, it's 120 seconds, I think. I'm going to defer to him.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So normally what I do when I see this is, because if you're level 5, it's between 60 and 120 seconds. I don't know the exact timing, but what I do is I'm like, okay, he's level 6, let's call it. It's probably about a minute and a half worth of ward. He doesn't have a pink ward. He didn't buy a sight stone. I'm just going to avoid mid lane for 2 minutes to be safe.
Yeah.
Because it's on cooldown for a longer time than that too, right?
Yeah.
So if you wait for about 2 minutes, he's not going to have time to put another ward, and he'll be in lane. You can see him. You'll see him if he moves away, right?
Yeah.
So you can just avoid the ward. You can just go farm. So that's one option. Other option is you go in and you sweep. Why would that be good? Why would that be bad?
It'd be bad because he'll see me. Everyone on the map will see me.
Everyone on the map will see you. So as soon as you, let's say he has a ward here. You have your sweeper, you're like, oh, I'm going to go get your ward. You start hitting it, he's going to back up, you're not going to be able to gank, he's probably going to play safer for a little while. What is the hungry Renekton top going to do as soon as he sees you here?
He'll probably get more ballsy. Try to kill Aurelia if he gets a chance.
Maybe he goes in for a riskier trade. Maybe she's like 100 health under tower and you're clearing this ward down here and he's full health. What's he going to do?
Try to go for the dive.
He's going to dive her. Let's say Lee Sin is up here. He sees you down here. What's he going to do?
Gank top and maybe try to snowball that into a Rift Herald.
Yeah, he could gank top, snowball the Rift Herald, same thing we were talking about. He could also come here to counter gank.
Yep.
He could come up here, steal your jungle because he knows you're down here. Now, if you just wait and oh, it's warded. My Gromp and wolves are up.
Yeah.
Oh,
those up.
ward's gone.
Now go gank.
Now go gank. And now you're not seen. And now Lee Sin is like, oh, is there Diana waiting this bush? I don't know. He's not going to do his ballsy stuff. Renekton's going to wait to dive because he doesn't know if this is a bait. No, Aurelia's laughing and spamming her mastery. He doesn't know if that's for real or just bad manners. So by showing yourself and clearing that ward, you're giving the enemy team information that they can use against you. If you just wait, the Veigar feels safer because the best time to gank and the worst time to be caught with your pants down mid is right when your ward expires.
Yeah.
Because maybe what he does is he pushes the lane and he walks into here to set a new ward. And if you're walking there at the same time, that's just a free kill, right?
Yep.
Now, I know, in gold, here, TY Double Gut is saying, hey, people in gold don't have map awareness. Well, some people do. And if you're playing, you're probably better than most people, because obviously everybody that is playing is the best League of Legends player ever. So you will have map awareness, and you can spam ping when you see the enemy jungler show up and be like, hey, you can dive top. He's here. You can, plant those seeds in your teammate's mind to help snowball. So, I can make that argument, too. Congrats on D4. Oh, RIP. Never mind. Thanks, man. Thanks. Appreciate it, the Bear Snatcher. I got to Diamond 4 the other day, and then we went on a 6-game losing streak. So he's just laughing at me for that. but thank you. Summer vacation has been the bane. I think I'm only gonna duo or trio with people until the kids grow up. And go back to school.
Till school's back in.
Yeah, because I was like, why did the player base get so bad this week? And then someone in chat was like, oh, summer vacation started. I'm an adult, I have a job, I don't think about stuff like that, but it makes so much more sense. Okay, so going back to this, that's another thing you can do. And then if it's warded, the other option is, just gank somewhere else. Okay, but going back, what else do we care about? There's more things for when we gank. Well, what's a really important one that we talked about since you want to be playing against an opponent instead of, just doing stuff?
Knowing where the jungler is?
Yeah, where's the jungler?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is pretty good checklist to go down, and I can show you how to track. We can go through that too. But let's talk about snowballing a lead to close out a game. So we have a pretty good idea of like who you want to gank. You probably want to be putting a lot of pressure on mid. Maybe you want to put some pressure bot if it's free, like if the enemy bot lane is low or if Thresh is mispositioning. Those are kind of our win conditions down there.
Yep.
But what do you want to do to actually win the game? So let's say it's level 6. Everybody's starting to get strong. If anybody missteps, you can just come and wipe them off the map. You can just delete them with your kit now. Yep. So let's say, well, what are you going to try to do? Like, let's say you delete Veigar. Like, he was going to reward. You were there right when the ward was gone because you and your duo are communicating. You have excellent timing. You just killed him. So what's your plan? What are you going to do right now?
Probably try to take tower.
Yeah, why? Why not Dragon? Why not Dragon? Dragon has global stats. It's really good. It's an Infernal Dragon, too. Everyone loves Infernal Dragon.
It gets us close to the Nexus. It takes away some of their vision. Global gold is always pretty good.
Yeah,
to global stats.
All three of those are better. So how much gold do the towers give? The front row of towers.
Is it 200?
Nope.
400?
Nope. Do you want me to just tell you? It's more.
Yeah.
It's more.
How much?
So you kill the tower. Everybody on your team gets 100 gold. So already that's 500 gold. And if you're standing next to it, you get 300 gold. If 2 people are standing next to it, you each get 150. It's 300 divided by however many people are within a circle around the tower.
Okay.
So if you add that up, it's
800.
800 gold. It's 2.5 kills, essentially.
Yeah.
So you want to get that. Because let's say, top lane was having a bad time. Bot lane was having a bad time. You just gave bot lane 200 gold. You just gave top lane 100 gold. This tower is off the map. So now, you don't have to worry about this. The minions are going to start pushing too. You have extra vision. You can do things like you can shove the lane, and, a tower isn't going to clean them up and shove it back. It'll actually go down here. And if Veigar doesn't go to deal with that, he's going to be missing out.
Yeah.
So that's one thing you should be doing. All right, so let's say this is down. What do you want to be doing with the Yasuo now? What should your pattern be?
Probably either ganking top or bottom, depending on where... like, if Yasuo is staying with me and not backing, then me and him can probably go gank top.
Let's say you killed the tower. Yasuo's low because you just had an epic fight against his Veigar. He tried his darndest. Right. Maybe Lee Sin came and wanted to fight, but you guys were just too good. And you scared him away. You got the tower. Yasuo backs because it'd be dumb to not spend all that gold you just got. We literally just said you got 800 gold for your team, right?
Yeah.
What's the worst thing you could do with that gold?
Just die while you still have it without any stats.
Spend your gold. That's one way you can snowball your lead. One of the biggest mistakes I see around stuff like that is I had one student actually who would just sit on gold. At one point I was watching one of his replays. He had 5,000 gold. He had 2.5 items and he just hadn't backed. And it was great, he sure did take a bunch of towers. He was doing the good work. He was putting pressure on the map. But if he had just backed, he could have bought tier 2 boots and been back and done the same thing, only with an extra item. With a death cap, with an infinity edge. It would have been so much easier, right?
Yeah.
And then he died with 5,000 gold and the enemy team got Baron and won the game. And he's like, why did I lose this gun day? What could I have done better? So I'm like, oh, that's so sad because he did everything right and then didn't spend his advantage.
Yeah. So
that's one thing we can do. And guys, I see that you're talking to you, but I'm trying to be mindful of this guy's time. So I'm going to ignore chat for now. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude. So, okay, he backs. What's your next plan of attack? Because we're trying to figure out how to snowball the lead.
If we just ganked and he backed, I'd probably wind up ganking. If I'm, close to, full health and stuff, and I actually don't have a whole lot of gold at this point, I'd probably just go back to farming and wait for another opportunity to gank another lane.
Well, what's one thing that's weird about Deanna that's different than, let's say you're playing a Mumu. Why would you want to go back to farming after you just ganked? There's one really big reason with a really long cooldown that I'm thinking of.
I don't know.
His ultimate. How long is the cooldown on his ultimate at level 6?
Mumu's ultimate's, I want to say 180 seconds at level 1.
It's long, right? It's not short. I don't think it's 180, but it's more than 2 minutes. Here, let's look. And it depends if you have cooldown reduction and stuff, right? You might be right too, but I always build.
I just remember it was huge.
It is 150, so not 180, but more than 2 minutes. Yeah, 120 is 2 minutes, so 2.5 minutes. with cooldown reduction, it goes down, right?
Yeah.
So with a Moo, you gank, and then you're farming because you want to get stronger, sure, but also because you're waiting on that ultimate to be back up. So what about Diana is different from a Moo ult-wise?
It's 24-second cooldown or instant if I.
It's a 24-second cooldown or instant if you land your Q and ult and then ult again, right?
Yeah.
So do you need to go back and farm?
I don't need to go back.
Nah, a rhetorical question. Deanna, you've been waiting all this time to hit 6. Now you're gonna have some fun, right? Lee Sin's been terrorizing the map, and now it's your turn.
So just kind of keep trying to gank like as much as possible.
Yes. Now, since you just took down this mid tower with your Yasuo, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna come back mid. Veigar's gonna come back mid, right? What's one thing that Yasuo can do against the Veigar that he couldn't before?
Probably solo kill him at this point. Push him, like, go to dive him easier because his tower isn't there.
His tower's gone. Yeah, this isn't here, so he doesn't have to worry about that. So if Veigar pushes up, Yasuo, maybe he has flash up and he's a god, right? So Veigar drops his little wrestling ring, his event horizon around him. Yasuo just flashes over. What's Veigar going to do now?
Either flash or just cry a lot.
Even if he flashes, he's probably still going to cry, right?
He's probably still dead.
Yeah, because Yasuo, you literally just killed him. You just gave him 800 gold from the tower, at least assist gold, if not more gold. He just got all the minions he just pushed up, right? He has a wave of minions probably to dash through, even if Veigar flashes. Like, if Lee Sin isn't here, this is a kill, right?
Yeah, he's gonna die.
Yeah, so, and even if he doesn't die, Yasuo's jumping in with his shield up, from all the flow he's been building. He pushes the wave, and then he just backs off. So he's here, the wave is pushed up to about here. Veigar has like a third of his health left if he's not dead.
Yeah.
So what can Yasuo do now?
He can roam with me, or just roam somewhere else.
Yeah, he can roam somewhere else. So right now you're here. Maybe you cleared stuff because you were waiting for Yasuo to do that, or maybe you come right back if Veigar's dumb and up this far, and you gank with him and kill him again.
Yep.
But this time, you guys are full health, have all your stuff up, because 24 seconds your ult's back up, right?
Yeah.
So snowballing an advantage, what you want to do, especially since Yasuo is duo with you and on call, on voice comms, is you want to pick either bot or top, and you just want to go put a lot of pressure there. And specifically, what are you trying to get, bot or top?
The tower.
Yes. Why the tower?
More global gold.
Yes. More control.
More control of the map, yeah.
Remember, every tower is worth 800 gold to your team. And I think it's a little bit of experience, too. But that's less important.
Yeah.
So, bot or top, which one do you want to actually get? It's like 10, 12 minutes into the game at this point.
10, 12 minutes in.
You're like all level 9, level 10.
Probably top lane, unless we got Rift Herald earlier and Aurelia's just kind of doing her thing and shitting on them, then I'll probably go bot lane.
So that's a good thing to focus on. Is Irelia ahead or behind?
Yeah.
Is bot lane ahead or behind?
Yeah.
Where is the enemy jungler? That's another thing. We'll go over that real quick, too, because, sorry, the first part took a lot of time because we were talking about random stuff. But let's say Rift Herald is still up, so that's a juicy thing. If it's 10 or 11 minutes, remember the Rift Herald goes away at 19 minutes and 45 seconds now. So if that's still up, this is a very juicy target. Now, what's one thing you have to be careful of? Let's say you take Rift Herald. Well, what's the enemy jungler going to do if he's not a complete numbnuts?
Probably try to gank bot or just go right for dragon.
Gank bot or just go right for dragon. Lee Sin can solo a dragon. Most junglers can solo a dragon at level 9.
Yeah.
So if it's like a Wind Dragon, Wind Dragon is still very good, but Rift Herald for Wind Dragon is a decently good trade.
Yeah.
I would take that.
All right.
Hole 4, dude, are you going to game or now? Yeah, but we're going to coach for another half hour or so. So if you're waiting for that, we'll be maybe come back in a half hour, 40 minutes, something like that, my friend. Sorry, talking to Twitch chat. But right now we're finishing up coaching. If it's a Wind Dragon, maybe you let it go. If it's an Infernal Dragon, that's a lot scarier, especially since they have a Veigar. Because remember, Veigar could get 1,000 AP. Like Skara had that 28-minute game where he had 1,000 AP. If you have an Infernal Dragon, how much AP does the Infernal Dragon give 1,000 AP Veigar?
Isn't it does Infernal give 6%? It gives a crap ton if he has 1,000. It gives
8%. It gives 8% of your AP 8%. And AD. So if he has 1,000, how much is 8% of 1,000?
8% of 1,000, isn't it 80? I'm sorry, my math is really bad
no,
right now. I'm tired.
No, that's perfect. It's 80.
Okay.
So essentially, Lee Sin got Veigar a 7th item.
Yeah.
And if he has a death cap, that 80 is now multiplied a little bit more. So that's scary, just because it's a Vagar. Renekton,
Yeah.
we don't really care about it. Lee Sin, we don't really care because he's going to be building tank. Graves will be scary, but I mean, every 80 carry is going to be scary. But because they have this guy, you don't want to be giving up an Infernal. Now, if it's like an Earth Dragon, if it's a Wind Dragon, if it's a Water Dragon, I'm calling them the Captain Planet versions. I know they're Ocean, Mountain, whatever they are. Captain Planet is just where my brain is stuck. But if it's one of those, I would say go for the Rift Herald. If it's Infernal, just because this team comp scales really hard with those stats, maybe go bot and focus on that dragon.
All right.
So that's one thing to think about. Also, it matters. Like, if they're even and you get Irelia kill at 11 minutes in the game, is she going to be able to take over that lane?
If I give her a kill, oh yeah.
Hopefully,
anyways.
maybe. But by now, the Renekton has his Sunfire cape. He's done with his Hydra. He probably has Ninja Tabby. It's going to be a lot harder for her to kill him, even if she gets that gold. Early game, those ganks are a lot more snowbally. Because, early game, if you only have a Doran's Blade and you get killed, now the enemy team has 2 Doran's Blades and you only have 1, they have double your items. They have double your stats.
Yeah.
So you can make the argument that it's a lot easier to snowball from that because you literally have less. But later into the game, your levels and all that, your kit, that kind of equalizes for that. So if he's down a Doran's Blade then, because that's about, 300-400 gold, it doesn't matter as much.
Yeah. All right.
So, it depends. Now, if you get her a kill and the Rift Herald, and you take the tower, that's still pretty good, but I wouldn't do that because Lee Sin has the opportunity to do the same thing bot lane. Then he gets an Infernal Dragon, which is worth more gold for his team. And also that leads to him getting a second Infernal Dragon, which then does 16% AP and AD. And on Vagar of 1,000 AP, how much is 16% of 1,000?
Oh god, it's 160.
And if he gets 3 of them, which can happen, that's a win condition on its own. If you get 3 Infernal Dragons, even if you're down 20 kills, it doesn't matter. You are now stronger than the enemy team.
Yeah,
that
isn't
is
that 24 on the third one?
24.
Yeah.
It goes 8 plus 8 plus 8, right? So 8 times 3, 24. So you've essentially given Vagar, with those 3 Infernal Dragons, 4 extra AP items.
You just gave him an extra death cap.
And then he has a death cap on top of that, multiplying everything. So you've given him really 6 AP items, let's say.
Yeah.
So he has 12 AP items because you decide to go top. So it's like, Now if it's something that doesn't scale very well mid, think like something with weak base damages. Maybe it's like I don't know, like a Ziggs or something.
Yeah.
That needs to poke you down slowly to kill, not something that's going to be hiding in a bush and you're just deleted when you walk by.
Yeah.
Maybe you can give up the Infernal Dragon. Maybe it's a Yasuo mid that could care less. You get what I'm saying. Everybody likes having more damage, but there are some champions that like it a lot more because they scale harder with it.
Yeah.
All right. So probably want to go bot then, especially if it's Infernal.
If it's an Infernal. If it's like a Wind Dragon,
Yeah, then...
Cool, they move a little bit faster. You're still going to hunt them down because you're Deanna, and you bought boots. Yeah. You're not going to catch a Lee Sin anyway. You can think of it that way. So that's kind of the decision-making. But what you're looking to do is pick a lane. Right now we said probably mid is the most desirable one, unless Thresh is bad and pushing up too far. So mid or bot, pick that lane, take the tower, and then what you want to do is go back to that lane, shove it up, or just have your laner do it if they can do it by themselves safely. And then when the lane is shoved up, the minions are like down here somewhere. The enemy team has to be here farming that. They can't just push up beyond it because literally they don't have minions. That's dumb. Yeah. So if they do, go kill them. If they don't, and they play like everybody does play, you then take whoever was in that lane and you spread your advantage. And you need to be shot calling as a jungler and be like, hey, we need to come mid right now and take this tower because that's how you win games. And like type that because people are dumb and don't know that.
All right.
So you come, you kill the Vagar, you kill the tower. Cool. 800 more gold. Maybe everybody regroups. Maybe after that you take Dragon because, these guys are still down here pushing the lane. They're probably getting raged at by their mid laner because, they didn't call him IA or whatever, even though he's spam pinged, they were gone forever. But take the Dragon. Now you have no objectives to worry about there. Maybe these guys have reset the lane, so it's back up here. Either go gank them again or send your bot lane back to shove again. And then put pressure on the other side. You want to get all 3 towers. So I'm going to go back to this. Your first thing, shot calling. What do you want to do? We're going to talk about the general objectives. You want to take the first 3 towers. So that is your objective once you hit 6, okay?
Alright.
Reason you can't really do that early is because until 7 minutes, the towers have extra armor.
Yeah.
So it's
okay.
really hard to take them down. You can
Yeah.
do it. Like you see it in the LCS when people 4-man a tower at like 3 minutes. But this isn't the LCS. This is gold solo queue.
Alright.
So you're looking to kill someone, take the tower. And the exercise we went through where it's like, should I gank top? Who has a good kit? You need to do that in champ select in your head mentally and be like, okay, who do I probably want to gank? And if you're duoing with a Yasuo mid, it's probably him every time.
Yeah.
So do that, take his tower, shove out the lane again, roam to whatever direction is most impactful. Maybe Dragon's dead because it's like a Nunu or something or a Fiddlesticks and they snuck it. That makes it an easy decision. Go top, Take that Rift Herald. But do that. Okay, what do you do next after you take the 3 towers?
After I take the 3 towers, probably try to get everyone to start grouping, depending on how late it is.
Now you want to start grouping. Once you have the 3 towers, you want to start grouping. What happens if, Renekton's up here and he's just shoving down this tower and he has a ginormous minion wave?
Send someone top, or everyone go top to kill him?
Either everyone goes together, or you send someone top to shove out the lane, everyone else kind of dances while they're doing that, and then you group. Or you send someone top with teleport, they shove it out, they hang out with Renekton because he's just staying up there split pushing, and if a fight breaks out and he tries to teleport in, they teleport to follow, or they cancel his teleport and then they teleport to follow.
Right.
But essentially what you're trying to do... Oh, thank you for the host, the Bear Snatcher. Appreciate it, man. But that's essentially what you're trying to do. You're trying to group. Okay, so what happens if the enemy team is also grouping and there's like, you're trying to take this mid tower, huh? I'm not going to let you. And they're just standing here and they're turtling, and they have Graves and Veigar, which has decent wave clear.
Yeah.
What happens if they just don't let you is what I'm asking. What do you do then? What if you literally just can't dive them yet because you're not strong enough, because you have a squishy comp with an Irelia, Yasuo, and a Diana, even though you could be a little tanky, you're still pretty squishy. What do you do?
Try to take Dragon, Rift Herald, or Baron, try to force a fight somewhere else that's not your tower.
That's what you want to do. So if you can't siege, because your next objective is, okay, we need to crack the base. We need to get these. Because you already got these out, right? If the enemy team won't let you, well, first of all, if they let you, like let's say the Renekton's dumb and he's just top. Let's say the enemy AD carry is dumb and he's just farming down here. And you're grouped as 5 and you see 3 people here, Who is this? It's a Thresh, it's a Veigar, and it's a Lee Sin.
All right.
Just kill them.
Yeah.
You dive in, you E, Yasuo has a free ult. I'm assuming Quinn will follow up. You have a Sona who will crescendo. Who else? It's an Irelia. She has dashes,
Yeah.
Kill them, take the tower. If the AD carry hasn't responded, take the next tower, take the inhibitor.
All right.
Now, let's say they're smart, and they come here. And I'm assuming you're ahead because you've been making good calls, you've been controlling objectives, you've been ganking well, you've been forcing your stuff. Let's say they're here and you can't do that. You already mentioned you need to force something else. You take the tower, you take the Baron, right? Or you take the Baron, you take the Dragon. You can just do it, but what you want to do instead is shove up the lanes, right? So shove this, and let's say Dragon's up in 2 minutes. Baron's up in 4 minutes, so probably not Baron. What do you want to do? Do you just want to sit here waiting on the Dragon?
No.
What are you doing?
If the lanes are already shoved up.
Well, you want to shove the lanes, right?
Yeah, so they're all over in mid lane, diddling around.
Yep.
Lanes are shoved up. Dragon spawning in 2 minutes. I'd probably just try to farm a bit.
Well, where are you going to farm? Are you going to go up here to your Krugs?
No, farm around Dragon, definitely.
Okay, so you're going to do your Gromp?
Do my Gromp, do Wolves if it's up real quick, then try to group up with someone.
Incorrect.
Don't do Wolves?
Why is it bad to be in your jungle in this situation where the lanes are pushed up and Dragon's popping in 2 minutes? What do you want to be doing instead, and why? And I'm asking so you figure it out.
Oh, counter jungling.
Counter jungle? Why don't you just farm their shit?
Yeah.
Like they have stuff in their jungle. Farm the chickens. Farm their Krugs. See if red buff's up. Do this as 5 too. So if they're here turtling, scared to leave that tower because you're a little bit ahead. Veigar hasn't scaled. They don't have any infernal dragons or anything. Well, what do you need to be doing to set up for this dragon?
Setting up vision around there.
Vision. Okay, yeah, that's important. Okay, so I'm gonna move you guys over here. But where do you want vision?
I want vision generally in the bush, like near that one. Yeah.
Here,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do this.
Yeah, it's hard for me to point out where I'd put it, but yeah, pretty much
Okay,
all around there.
let's play the. Let's say you only have 2 wards because you're the jungler and you have your yellow totem and you haven't used the charges. Where are you gonna put them? Here?
No.
Here?
No.
Here?
Probably not.
I can make an argument for it, but let's get rid of it. Okay, what about here?
It's usually gonna be there,
Mhm.
and that one definitely.
This one?
That one's 100%, especially with Lee Sin. And
Okay.
maybe the Tri-Bush because they also have a Lee Sin, but
Maybe the tri-brush. Okay, so
yeah.
so another thing you can do, I really like this one here because let's say Lee Sin's going to try for a steal. Where's he going to steal from?
Right behind Baron Pit.
Or Dragon Pit. Like he can do it here.
Dragon Pit, yeah, I'm sorry.
He can do it here. He can do it here, but like you never really see that. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But so he can do it from there. They could also just run in like this and just fight. But if they do that, I mean, you guys kind of want that because they're running through your wards. But what you want to do to set up for this dragon, let me show you how I would do it. But I think you're right. Those are good wards to have. What I would do is put a pink ward right here. Maybe put a pink ward here because remember you have 5 teammates. You have 5 pink wards. You can tell your Yasuo to buy one too. Get a ward here. Get one either here or here, and then just wait. Maybe you get one here just so you can see if they're sneaking around behind you. But you have minions pushing here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be able to see if they go through lane. You have minions pushing here, so you'll be able to see if they're coming from this way. If you guys all just like stack in this bush, and I hear you yawn, and sorry, I'm trying to speed up so
Oh
you can
no,
get
no,
through everything.
it's just I've been awake for all day.
No worries. But if you're standing here on this pink ward and you see, the enemy support, because it's their job to ward, obviously, walking
Yeah.
through here, what are you going to do?
Just kill her real quick.
Delete
Or
them.
him. It's a Thresh.
Yeah, it's a Thresh, right?
Yeah.
So just jump on him, kill the Thresh. Enemy team follows up, whatever. You kind of want the team fight at this point. But let's say you kill the Thresh, they chunk you down a little, just back off, do the dragon, because now it's up. And now the enemy team is scared shitless to walk into here because one of them just got blown up by a death bush, and they'd be fighting a 5v4.
Yeah.
So you do that, you get the dragon. Now, you can keep doing that over and over and starve them out of resources. Another thing you can do is just pick a fight over it. Like, some people use dragons as bait. Like, if it's an infernal dragon, they really, really want that. So you can either just take it, and then you go back to sieging, and eventually you'll just get stronger than them. Because if you're doing this, you're farming the minions, and you're also farming their jungle. And you're getting dragons, which give you stats, and you're probably going to do this same thing to Baron, which will really let you crack the base. But eventually you're going to be stronger than them because you're literally farming more things, getting more experience.
Yep.
So that's the play you want to do. Now let's say Baron's about to be up. Let's say it's like 19 minutes and the same situation just happened. You have the 3 outer turrets down, but now you're setting up for Baron. So show me where you want to be warding. And here, I'll move you guys over here just so you can see. So they're turtling under the mid lane, right?
Yeah.
Well, where are the wards going to be? I'm going to put them in every bush. Just tell me which one is right. Tell me if there are other places to ward. Where do you want stuff?
For the most part, I'm gonna have a ward on that river entrance. Not right there, but to the. I mean, right there is not terrible, but if I really want wards, probably that bush.
Well, remember you have minions, right? So that kind of acts as a
so
ward.
that gives vision.
So get rid of that.
So I'd want them on both sides of the blue buff pit, definitely right there and around right there.
So usually I put one right here, actually. So
Yeah.
you're saying
Just
like
anywhere in that general entrance area, yeah. Like right there. Those are the general spots I try to put it in.
So another thing I would do, which is just kind of fun, like remember it's gold, so I don't know if like 7 people are going to like buy pink wards because you only have 5 people on your team. I don't even know if 2 people are. But let's say you do this, and then move this here, put another pink ward like right here.
Yeah.
This one's nice because you can see people coming. Maybe your support drops one here too because now all the entrances are covered. You have minions pressuring up here as well, probably, so you'll know if someone's coming up there.
Yeah.
But what you can then do is just same kind of play.
Just do the bushwhack.
The old death bush.
Yeah.
And maybe you put another one here just so you can see people coming.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do this, what are they going to do? Like, if they walk through here, like, and it's probably going to be either the Lee Sin or the support coming to face check, right?
Yeah, just kill them real quick.
Kill them. If you kill the Lee Sin, it's a free Baron.
Yeah.
If you don't, it's still probably free Baron because it's really scary for him to go in there. Or what you do is, like, you get it down to 3,000 health. You don't really have a tank on your team, but let's say you did. Let's say Aurelia built straight tank. Lee Sin
Yep.
comes in, you wait for it to be 3,000 health, then you just wait for him to jump in, because you probably have a pink ward here and he doesn't have vision, right? You kill him. He can't smite, if it's at 3,000. And then you finish
Yeah.
the Baron, and then you crack the base, win the game. But really what you want to be doing to close out the game is when you get to this point where you have the 3 outer turrets, you're trying to siege and get this. So you're either waiting for the enemy team to make a mistake. Here, I'm just going to clear all these wards and shit. Here, let's actually do this. But you're waiting for the enemy team to make a mistake. Like maybe the enemy AD carry is like up here farming top by himself.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the team is snowballing, not snowballing, trying to turtle here.
Mm-hmm.
So what you can do is just be like, oh, he's top. Maybe have Renekton
Just-
teleport
yeah, just-
behind. You just run on him, just kill them.
Go kill him for free, yeah.
And if you kill them for free, you're probably going to win the next fight, because if we look at their team comp, who's their damage?
Their damage is Vagar.
And that's about it, right? Maybe
Yeah.
Lee Sin is building glass cannon, but even him, he's not that scary.
Yeah.
So like that's it. So then you only have one job: zone the Vagar, and you win the fight.
All right.
So here you go. That's pretty much how you set it up, and then you just do that until you get a Baron buff, and then once you get a Baron, they won't be able to sit here and turtle. Baron is the tool you use to break the base, but either
Alright.
wait for someone to derp, kill them, and then take a tower because you have a 5v4, or wait for someone to derp, kill them, take a dragon, take a Baron. One of those.
All right.
But it's all about pushing up the waves, taking these 3 outer towers, and then setting up, about 2 minutes before you want to bait the Baron, or bait the dragon. And then you, wait in a bush for someone to walk by, kill them, take it. That's how I would do it. It's the simplest, easiest way, and usually it works.
All right.
Make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
And after
So-
that, it's just rinse and repeat until you're in the base. Like, if you get an inhibitor down here, you're then pressuring up here so the supers can push.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Ooh, good question. What should the enemy team do in that situation? Well, you have to try to equalize the disadvantage. So what I would try to do in that situation, if the enemy team, let's say you're the blue team, they're the orange team is up, right? Try to split up the orange team. So split pushing items, split pushing itself. Like if you're Renekton with teleport, go in another lane and just push it really, really hard so someone has to deal with you. Buy a ZZ Rot, drop it so someone has to deal with that shit. Because if you're trying to do dragon, but the enemy wave is out to here, taking down a tower, it's going to be really hard for you to do dragon while losing all these resources, and your teammates are probably going to split up and go here. Suddenly there's 2 people on dragon, 80 carry farming here, maybe your mid laner's doing blue buff because nobody's grouping. It gets a lot easier to steal an objective, to catch somebody out. You're trying to split them up so they're not strong, so they're not using their advantage. That's what I would do to break this Cue Ball Mania. Okay, but going back to you, my good friend. Sorry. That was actually a good question. We can still talk about. We got a few more minutes. I don't know how late you want to go. I'll keep talking until you're fine.
Oh, it doesn't matter to me.
So what to do in different situations, tracking the enemy jungler. So generally, like you talked about in your notes that you sent to me. Hey, I usually ward up the enemy jungle, but if he's not there, I don't know where he is. So let's do a thought experiment real quick. First of all, let's say this is the enemy jungler. Where are you putting your wards? Let's say you have a pink and 2 greens. Where are you gonna put them?
I'll generally put the pink right opposite of the red buff in that bush near
here?
the dragon pit.
Or here?
Closer to the dragon pit, yeah. I'll put it around there.
Here?
Yes.
I don't like
Please
that
don't.
one. Why do I not like that one?
I don't know why you don't like it.
Does
I don't know.
mid lane walk through that bush? Does every jungler walk through that bush? Do most people walk through that
yeah.
bush? So is that pink ward going to stay up forever?
No.
No, it's gonna be deleted pretty early. I'm saying this is a level 4 pink ward. Your first back you bought a pink, and you're putting it to get vision of the enemy jungler. What about here?
Here, it's not terrible, but I think it'll still get.
What about here?
That's actually probably the better one.
Nobody will walk through this bush. This will stay
Yeah.
up for 20 minutes. What about here?
People are gonna walk through that. The jungler's gonna walk through that.
He's gonna walk through that. The chickens will give it away. What about here?
That one will probably stay for a while too.
It'll stay for a while, but you're not going to see anything
Yeah,
probably.
you're
And
not
also, you got base gates here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So common jungle pathing is just go through here, right?
Yeah.
Or I think it does this, actually, which is why this ward is so good. It doesn't actually
Yeah.
path you through there. So I would put a pink ward there. What about your green wards? Like, let's say you're counter jungling. Like he just showed top. He being the Lee Sin. So you're like, oh, I'm down here. Let's get some wards and steal all of his shit. Where are you gonna put your wards?
I'll probably put it in the spot that, like the first spot I mentioned. Yeah, there and there, pretty much.
I
Yeah.
usually don't wind up putting any wards right next to the buff in that bush. I don't know why.
Yeah, I would put one here, and if you don't have a pink, drop a green ward in that same spot as that pink.
Yeah.
But this bush doesn't really tell you anything useful. If you have this
Yeah.
pink, you kind of know where he is. The support is probably going to have these areas warded. So what you're looking to get is actually these two spots warded. Why these two spots? Why are these important?
Because that's like the way into their jungle from the base. They're going to be passing through them more often.
Let me put it this way here, just to make it obvious. All I did is drew a dotted line down the middle. I'm not doing anything special. But let's say he's going to go from blue jungle to red jungle or vice versa. How is he going to get there?
From blue jungle to red jungle. Through there, yeah.
Yeah. And here, we have a tower. We have, minions.
Yeah, they'll get picked up from over there.
They'll get picked up. If they go through here, like, kill them,
Yeah.
But these two wards are super important just because you can see where they're moving. So if he does like chickens, Krugs, and is like looping around because that's weird, or buys or something, these wards will tell you what half of the jungle he's on. So let's say that you don't see him anywhere in this jungle. Where is he probably?
Probably near like blue buff in that top side jungle.
Yeah, if he's not here, he's probably here. No information is still information.
Yeah.
As weird as that sounds. If he's not
Okay.
here, he's the opposite of that. He's probably here.
All right.
So all you have to do is ward up one side of the jungle, and that'll give you information. So let's say we were going to do blue. Like, let's say he just ganked bot. Where would the magical spots be here? Well, here, I'm going to put a ward in every bush. Tell me which one you want your pink ward in, first of all. And why.
I'll generally put one right next to the blue buff, right there.
Right here?
Yeah. That's
Well,
generally where I'll put not the pink ward, but generally a blue ward, or green ward.
No worries. Now, remember, you don't have to put them in bushes either. Like,
Yeah.
So here, let me clear this just so you can see. If you had one ward, and you could put it anywhere, where would you put it?
And I'd put it in the crap. It's hard to explain. To like the left, and down of blue buff in that crossroad area right there.
So like here?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Nice. That's a really good one. Why is this a good one?
Because it pretty much picks up everywhere they go. Yeah, they have to cross through there eventually, like 9 out of 10 times.
I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 arrows. If they have wall dashes like Lee Sin, even more. So that's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And if you put it here, that's fine too. But that's getting 1, 2, 3, because this wall blocks vision. Here is better. So what about a pink ward?
I usually don't ever wind up putting pink wards like in the enemy jungle near blue side.
Hey, remember what we said about getting better?
Yeah.
Start putting pink wards in the enemy jungle, maybe by blue side. And it depends on what he's giving you. If it's a Lee Sin, right, and you're playing a Mumu, maybe you don't want to invade him if you don't know where he is. But let's say the Lee Sin, he shows bot, and they tower dive, and he's dead. And you were up here, because you were farming your... Where the hell are you? Okay, you're here. You were up here farming. So you just smited this, so you know that you're safe. You haven't been seen by wards. So you can come through here. You can farm all of his shit because he's dead. You're gonna put some pink wards down. So you have one pink ward. Where are you gonna put it?
Next to blue buff.
So right here.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
So
think about
maybe...
when you do your blue. Do you walk into this bush?
Yeah, I generally do.
Yeah. So that's gonna be gone in at least 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
All right. So that's out. Where are you gonna put your pink ward? Not there. Not here. We have this covered. What's left?
The bottom area, either that or like the
Here?
enemy tri-brush. No,
Here?
right there near that one, or right there.
Here?
Yeah.
This is the best spot on the map to put a pink ward. Why is it the best spot on the map to put a pink ward? Why is this really good?
I can't tell you right now.
Here,
I don't know.
Yeah, let me walk you through. So you
Alright.
have this path, you have this path. What do mid laners like to get?
Oh, blue buff.
What does this pink ward tell you is happening?
If they're grabbing blue buff.
What play does this set up if you like to sit right here while they're on their way to blue buff, which you kind of have warded, and you can see the enemy jungler coming to feed it to them?
It kind of sets up a free steal, or if he's low, like a free kill on the enemy.
Yeah, you know, if this is like a half health Veigar, you wait for him to get blue. Thank you, Lee Sin. He's typing as you jump on him with your full damage combo, and Yasuo is following up because you're duo with him, and as soon as you hit E, he ults him and, seals the deal.
Yeah.
All because of this pink
Alright.
ward. So that's one reason it's really good. If it's a Yasuo for them, something that doesn't give a shit about mana and AP and stuff like that, maybe it's a Katarina, she doesn't really care as much, right?
Yeah.
It won't work, but if it's
It's
an
still-
Anivia or something, it's good. Okay, why else is this good? Think from a tracking the enemy jungler perspective.
Because if they're gonna if they're going from down mid lane to gank mid, they'll go over up there and
Yeah, they'll go this way.
yeah.
So think about this big dotted line. Where are the two ways they're going to go back into their
Yeah.
blue jungle?
Yeah, it'll go past the ward.
It'll go either up here or down here. Sorry, these arrows are just that's just horrible. Let me let me try again. Let me try harder. So it'll go here, or he'll go here, right?
Yeah.
If you position this pink ward, do you kind of notice how this will still see both of those?
Mm-hmm.
You can put it right here, and it'll still be in the bush, and you will always see that Lee Sin walking this way, or walking this way. And normally they path around the bush too. Or if he's coming through here, it'll be fine. Because if he's going top from the jungle, it'll probably path him this way, and then you'll see him. If he's coming from here, it'll path him to hug this wall if he's going top. Or it'll path him, through here. So what you want to do, if you want to keep this half of the jungle warded, is exactly what you said. Put a ward here, put a ward here. Make sense?
All right. Yep.
And the pink wards are good because they can just stay up forever. But if you have the jungle item with wards, you can always just drop 2 here.
Yeah.
Or 2 there, whatever. Now, good junglers will look for that, so check and see if he's doing it. But still, most people will forget to do it. Even I forget to do it.
All right.
Yep. Now, remember, Q-Ball Mania has some good thoughts. If he's farming, it doesn't see anything. Well, it kind of does. Let's say it's a Vi. You can actually see her animations from her E as she's hitting the wolves. You'll also see that she probably went here. And then you'll see if she's coming around here or whatever. If you have a green ward and you see her walk this way, I wonder what she's gonna do. Probably the Gromp, right? So you don't see them farming, but you can kind of infer because they were on the mini map and they walked this way. Top lane is completely pushed up. They're probably not going to gank, and if they do, maybe it's a lane gank, so you warn your top laner that this might be happening. But whatever.
Yeah.
So that's how I would track the enemy jungler. Pick one side of the map. Wait for them to gank it, especially if you're one of these junglers that needs to wait until 6, like a Mumu and Diana, who you like to play, because you're probably not going to be counter-jungling him successfully. And then, depending on if he ganks top, drop your wards here and here. If he ganks bot, drop your wards here and here. And then just try to keep those up, because if you're controlling this area, it'll be very easy to see when he's there and when he's not, and then you just sneak in when he's not and keep him up.
All right.
Kind of makes sense?
Yeah.
If you don't have wards and you're on blue side, what's another thing you can do that's really annoying and can track the enemy jungler?
The wolves.
The wolves! Smite the wolves, right?
Yeah.
That thing is super annoying. It'll follow them around. And then
That's something I need to do more. I
Yeah.
would never smite the wolves.
yeah, so over here, if you're a Mumu and he's counter jungling you can smite the wolves, but it's more powerful if you smite the enemy jungler's wolves, because it tells you
Yeah.
what half of the map he's on. Because if he's not in his jungle on this quadrant of the map, you can be pretty sure he's over here.
Yeah.
Right? Or the opposite side, whatever it is. So that's one
Yeah.
thing. All right, let's go through. Tracking the enemy jungler. That's how I would do it, by the way. And then late game, it's everybody's job to ward, and so you're just trying to push that ward line up and keep track of the enemy team until they're stuck in their base.
Yeah.
So when to gank, when to farm. We kind of went over when to gank earlier. That's one of the reasons I was doing this. But it's also can we get a kill? Can we get a kill and take a tower? Can I get a kill that's meaningful? We talked about Irelia versus Renekton. If you get Irelia rolling against Renekton, maybe she wins out, but all he's going to do is build tank anyway, and he can still do his job
Yeah.
and build tank even if he's behind a kill or two. So think about where you can have the biggest impact. And here, Powell is saying Nocturne is easy because if you have that pink ward here and he's farming with his Q, sometimes Nocturnes will just throw their Q this way, and then you'll be seen. So
Yeah.
you'll know exactly where he is. So that's a good point. Oh no, I'm boring you. I'm so sorry.
No.
Okay, but when to gank, when to farm. Let's keep it rolling, right? We talked about kind of the difference between Diana and Amumu, right? Diana, you want to farm until you hit 6 because that's your power spike with your ult, right? That unlocks all of your combos and everything. So pretty much always farm unless it's just a free kill that you can like flash, Moonfall WQ to and get the auto off to get all the damage. Unless it's just free, you should be farming until you hit 6.
Yeah.
And then still, like, you're looking for the stuff that's free. You're looking for that idiot with like 100 health spamming his mastery and laugh that you want to kill. If that's there, just take it. If that's not there, you're looking for the lane that has the kill potential. So the one with CC and damage. Like, Irelia would be a great lane to gank early, but then once Renekton gets tanky, maybe leave that one alone. But looking for that. So pretty much any time you can get a kill and then take an objective, and by objective I mean a tower, a dragon, something like that, that's what you want to do.
Right.
So on Mummy, on Amumu, it takes a little bit longer because, like we said, his ult has that 150-second cooldown. So on him, it's like, okay, my ult's up, time to gank. That's what the flowchart should be. Is ult up? Yes, gank. No, farm.
Okay.
So think like that. So same thing with Diana, only it's easier because her ult is always up.
Yeah. All right.
Now if nothing's there, like let's say, your bot lane's dead or backed, don't gank 1v2 because that's called suicide. So you farm here, then you look for something mid. If the wave is pushed super far up, like Yasuo's like in this Veigar's face because he just has a death wish, maybe you tell him to back up, maybe you ward, but then you farm, wait for it to push back out.
Yeah.
So you wait for the stars to align and for that opportune moment to come in, and then you just collapse on it and take it.
All right.
And so ideally, your ult is up, you have all your damage, summoner spells are up, things like that. Wards are gone. That big long checklist that we were looking for, that's the ideal thing. But even if some of those conditions are true, you can still go in. You're just looking for the best possible opportunity. I think of the game like math. It's like, where do I have the highest probability of winning? Because I'm not looking for those 50-50 things where like, oh, well, if the jungler doesn't come, we win. If he does come, we lose. That's dumb. I'm looking for like 80% of the time, I'm going to get a kill and take a tower. 20% of the time, we're going to walk away and nothing happens.
All right.
I like those odds. If you keep making that bet, you're going to make money. That's the way to think about it. That's how you beat the house or beat the enemy team, however you want to think about this metaphor.
All right, that makes sense.
Yep. All right, last, and sorry, I'm trying to keep this under 2 hours because we started at 10. We've been coaching for 2. Builds. Mummy, what to build when? So let's say that instead of Diana, you're playing a Mumu.
All right.
What's your build going to be and why?
With that team comp, with ours, I'm probably gonna try to go more tanky
Why?
because Yasuo, Aurelia, and Quinn, and Sona, like everyone on the team's gonna be doing solid damage, even if Aurelia kind of falls off a little later.
Yeah, so,
But-
so you have plenty of damage. Why else do you need a tank?
No one's really super tanky.
No one's really super tanky. Everyone's squishy. And they can be tankier. Yasuo can get his Phantom Dancer. Irelia can get a GA. Sona can build Warmogs or whatever she wants. But it's not as good as if, like, a Braum was building Warmogs. Or if a Maokai was top, with, like, Thornmail, Randuin, Sunfire. It's not the same. So here I'm thinking, like, you want to do your Cinderhulk build. You actually want to get some health items. So maybe, like, if you need a little extra damage, Rylai's Leandries. Or just pick a Rod of Ages for your 1 damage item. And then build straight tank.
All right.
And like you said, you can probably rely on your team to do some damage. What's another reason you might want 1 AP item, though? I'll give you a hint. I have it highlighted.
We don't have a whole lot of AP damage on the team.
Nope.
I mean, Sona's there.
Sona's there, but she's the support, right?
Yeah.
Don't count on the support for AP damage. I mean, they can. They can. Like, I played against a couple Zyras last night, and let me tell you, supports can do damage when they build Leandries and stuff, but don't count on her. You can still do AP damage as a Mumu because of your kit, which is nice. Like, what about your kit makes it so you can still do good damage without any AP items?
The percent HP.
The percent HP, and you still have pretty decent base damages. Your ult does a couple hundred damage, your Q does a couple hundred damage, your E, pretty good. It's up every 3 seconds or whatever in a team fight. So you can get by without it, but maybe one item, maybe like a Leandri's, maybe a Rod of Ages, maybe a Rylai's if you need more CC, because that's another thing. What's your crowd control situation looking like?
Q and R.
Your Q, your R, Sona's R, Quinn has, her dash back
yeah.
thing. Aurelia has like one stun, Yasuo has his knock up, and his ult if Quinn's knock up or his Q hits. But that's it. Not a lot, and it's all dodgeable, it looks like.
Yeah.
What's another reason you want to go tank? This time, let's look at the enemy team. What about them in here? Let me rearrange things so that they are in groups of similar types of problems. What about these three, for example?
They're all AD.
They're all AD. What about their kits? Like, are they going to sit back and poke?
No, they're really all in.
They're going to be all up in your faces, right?
Yeah, Graves also being short range.
Short range. Yep. So if they're going to be all up in your face, you're going to need to be tanky to survive all that at once, because they're going to be like just jumping on you at once. And that kind of team comp is looking to just like Thresh is going to hook someone, and then you're going to get burst down. So if you don't have a tank, like if you're building Glass Cannon and a Moo, with your AP jungle item, maybe your second item's a I don't know, death cap because you're cocky as hell, you're gonna die.
Yeah. All right.
So don't do that. So that's another thing. So something to consider. This time I would build tank. So what would your build be? Like, walk me through it.
I'd go Cinderhulk first.
Cool.
Followed by what?
Cool. I like it.
Okay. Followed by Leandri's Torment. That's my go-to AP item on a Mumu.
I might change that up. It's really, really good on him. But when is it good, and what is it good against?
Leandri's, I feel, is better against, like, tankier teams itself, but it also just synergizes with the Mumu a lot, giving him more damage over time, and the penetration's good.
And I guess it's not bad, because never mind, I'm thinking about it more, and I'm wrong, so apologies, but because Graves is a little tanky. Renekton's going to be tanky. Lee Sin, if he's not an idiot, is going to build, like, Warrior and then go straight tank. Thresh will be a little... So it's fine. That's actually a good buy. But normally, like, Leandri's is like a third or fourth item.
Yeah.
I was thinking if you go Cinderhulk Leandri's and you don't have a tank and team fighting starts, because usually around 2-3 items, that's when team fighting starts, what's going to happen to you?
I'm just going to get blown up if I'm
Yeah.
not tanky enough. Yeah.
Yeah, so what you could do, maybe you sit on the Haunting guys, and then you buy some armor. Because, like, AD, Vygar needs to scale a little. You've been doing a good job shutting him down with your Yasuo mid, so, he's not too strong yet. So your Cinderhulk can survive a little bit of burst. But maybe you get, like, a Frozen Heart. Maybe you get, like, a Randuin's or a Dead Man's Plate. Something like that.
All right.
Something with health and armor that can keep you alive. Why would Frozen Heart be really, really good? Wings! Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Sorry. Ignore the dancing thing. No one else follow. I'm coaching. That's rude.
Frozen Heart would I usually never build Frozen Heart on a Mumu. I don't know why. I know it's really good, but
So if you're building Cinderhulk, what's going to happen if you're spamming your abilities in the jungle?
it's gonna get out of mana real fast.
You're going to get out of mana. Frozen Heart gives you mana.
Yeah.
You're against 3 AD champions. It's going to give you some armor, a bunch of armor. It's not as good as it used to be, but it's like 90 or 95 or something. I think it's 90.
Yeah, I think it's 90.
If you're planning on building that Leandri's, why is Frozen Heart really, really good? And this is a trick. Most people don't know this. I actually had someone arguing against me in stream, and they were just wrong. But this is a weird trick, so if you don't know it, it's fine.
I don't know.
When does Leandri's do extra damage?
When they're CC'd.
When they're CC'd. Now, because Riot has Biscotti code, which is how I say spaghetti because I watch What We Do in the Shadows too much, which is a great movie. Everybody should watch it. It's about vampires. But because of Riot's spaghetti code, the Frozen Heart attack speed slow counts as crowd control.
Wait, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why I usually get Randuin, so I can do this slow to do more damage, but I had no idea Frozen Heart did that.
So if you get the Frozen Heart, you get the 20% CDR, which makes your ginormous ult cooldown not as ginormous. You get armor, which would be really, really good against these guys. You get extra mana, and because you went Cinder Hulk instead of, the AP item that heals you every time you auto-attack a minion or spell a minion, So you're going to be out of mana. So the Frozen Heart will give you more of a mana pool so you can actually use your abilities in fights. Yep. But the attack speed slow aura, because of Riot's Spaghetti Code, will double the Liandry's burn. And all you have to do is stand in the middle of a team fight with your W up, which is what you're going to be doing anyway.
Yeah, that's really good. I had no idea that happened.
Yeah, so that's a trick. Now, they might change it one day. Maybe they'll fix their spaghetti. Maybe they'll take the meatballs out, and it'll change. But right now, as of this patch, it still works.
Oh, wow.
So there you go. So whenever I build, let me show you one of my old games. But, I play a lot of Sejuani, and she's kind of like a Mumu, same kit, just a little bit harder because less stuff to do. Where's a game where I built it? Here, this one, for example. We lost, sadly, but I'll go Cinder Hulk, Liandry's, because I like the extra damage. I'm just like you. This game, I think we lost because they had 3 AD, but the Cassiopeia took over, and I didn't have any magic resist, sadly. But if you look at this guy, that reduced the attack speed of nearby enemies by 15%. Very, very good because it doubles the burn of this. The spell burns enemies for 3 seconds, dealing bonus magic damage equal to 2% of their current health. I needed that for the Rek'Sai, I needed that for the Alawai. And then the burn damage is doubled against movement impaired units. As weird as it sounds, the attack speed slow is coded as movement impairment.
Huh.
So, a little trick. So if you're playing your Amumu and you want to optimize him and there's, 3 AD champions on the enemy team, Frozen Heart's a great pick if you're going to be building Liandry's. Now, it's not as good because, Lee Sin he's like a caster, Renekton's a caster, Graves is a caster. It's not like a Jinx that's just going to sit there and auto-attack you to death.
Yeah.
So, not as good, but if you're going to be building that Liandry's, the extra damage is good, and also since you're all AD, you want extra damage, so I can make an argument for it. Plus, he likes the cooldown reduction because his ult is like 150-second cooldown. 20% off of that is actually a lot. So, it's 30 seconds off of it.
Yeah, it's pretty huge.
So it's a good item to buy. So maybe think, I like your thought of Cinder Hulk into a Liandry's, but you're going to be a little squishy. So maybe go... one thing I like doing, and this is another weird secret. I used to do this on Sejuani a lot, but then I just use the Hunter's Potion because it's cheaper. But if you're looking to snowball a little, build your Cinder Hulk, and before you finish it, buy 2 Dorn's Rings. Why would that be good?
Extra AP, HP, and the mana regen.
The mana regen is the main thing. So it gives you just mana regen. Both passives are not unique, so they stack. So you just get regular mana regen. So from that in your jungle item, you're getting some mana just sitting in the jungle. Also, every time you kill something, you get mana back, and that stacks with both rings. So
it works with jungle creeps?
Yep.
Oh.
So here, let me show you. Doran's Ring. I'm just typing it again to Google, which knows all. So 60 health, 50% base mana regen, so 2 of those is 100%. You get 15 ability power, 4 mana upon killing a unit. So if you kill a champion, you get 4 mana too. So every time you kill something, you get 8 mana. This is regenerating mana too. So if you go Cinder Hulk, you're not going to be getting mana back from that. Buy 2 of these, it's 800 gold. And another thing that's nice here, do you understand the cost analysis and if an item is worth or not?
Yeah.
So here's just very basic math. It's not quite right, but it's saying for the 400 gold you spend, you get 730 gold worth of stats. And that's before the passives.
Jeez.
And now another thing, look at what it sells for.
Yeah, it sells for 160.
So you spend 400 gold twice, and when you sell it, you get 320 gold back. So you're down 480 gold after spending the 800 gold if you need to sell it for another item or something, right?
Yeah.
For that 400 gold, you're essentially getting 800 gold, if not 900 gold, depending on how you use the mana restoration passives back. So if you're running out of mana in the jungle because you're building Cinder Hulk and you want some extra damage early, this gives you extra health, gives you extra AP, and it gives you a ton of it for the gold you're spending. Now, the downside is you're going to have to sell it, so what you need to do is get at least, 240 gold worth of stuff out of the ring before you sell it. But I mean, that's a kill.
Yeah.
that might be a dragon. Maybe you don't run out of mana because you bought this ring, and now you get a dragon because you had one more E before the Lee Sin jumps in to steal it from you. Something like that, right?
Yeah.
So it's very easy to make an argument for this. So here's a couple tricks for a Mumu, because I used to play him a lot. He was one of the first junglers I learned. Frozen Heart makes your Liandry's burn for more. It's also very good for lowering the cooldown on your ult and your Q, so you can just always have those up. Also, early Doran's rings, because you were saying Lee Sins like to invade you, right? Before you even finish your jungle item, because right now you can just sit on like the first half. I forget what it's called. You have the machete, then you have the other one, right?
The Balmy Cinder. Oh no, the talisman.
The talisman, thank you. But you just have to buy one of those, the machete or the talisman, to get the extra experience out of the jungle. So buy the talisman because you want the extra mana. Mm-hmm. And then build the Bombi Cinder and 2 Doran's rings. Then finish your Cinderhulk, buy boots somewhere in there, and then start building, Frozen Heart or your Liandry's, whatever you're going to do in your build next.
Yeah.
If there's a bunch of AP on the enemy team, Abyssal Scepter is amazing on a Mumu because it gives him magic resist, gives him more damage, gives him cooldown reduction. Same kind of thing as Frozen Heart.
Yeah.
It sadly doesn't do the double burn on the Liandry's though. So.
Yeah.
But something like that, that's probably how I would build him, especially if you're going against strong early game junglers. The Doran's items are designed to make weak people strong early and strong people stronger early. So very, very cheap, very good way to get ahead. And this is one of the main reasons. You just get way too many stats. This is a broken item. So, I mean, looking at it now, like I stopped building it on Sejuani. Maybe I shouldn't. So thank you. You're making me a better player. Maybe I should go back to this. I used to always buy 2 because if you could get 4, but that's kind of overkill. So by the time you get 4, you probably get a kill and you sell one immediately.
Yeah, I know. On Diana mids usually buy like 3 Doran's rings as your core.
Same reason, right? It's so cheap. You can do this on Diana too, but I'm assuming you're going to buy, Luden's Echo on Diana.
Oh, yeah,
so,
yeah.
So mana isn't a problem, and the main reason you're buying this is for the mana.
Yeah.
Because, the stats are good. Sure, you get extra damage, but, I mean, why not just get other items faster with your superior play, and you're not going to run out of mana, so the passive and this is kind of wasted.
Yeah.
So that's my argument there. Now, if you're building a Mumu, the Luden's Echo route, you probably don't need these.
Yeah, no.
Just get Ludens, that'll give you the AP, that'll give you the mana regen, buy a Giant's Belt. Cool, you have the same amount of stats, and you didn't waste 800 gold.
Yeah. Alright,
cool.
Cool.
And we did record all this, so I said that last part fast, because we've been going for 2 hours and 12 minutes now, so I'm sure you're tired of hearing me talk, but I think we got through all the things.
Yep.
Any more questions? Was this helpful?
I'm feeling pretty good without any questions. It was definitely helpful. It was really helpful.
Good. And I threw a lot of information and stuff at you, so there is a video I will send you tomorrow once the Twitch shit is done processing. I'll just send you a link to YouTube. I highly recommend watching it on double speed, and then when something interesting happens, just pause, watch it on normal speed. That way you don't have to watch this 2-hour session in 2 hours. It'll be good. And I also try to keep this up so you can just skip ahead with the pictures and wait till we're typing something you care about.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
All
right. If you want to schedule another session, usually the first one is verbal, so I can talk to you, I can get an idea where your game knowledge is. But this is the stuff we worked on. So what I'd like to see is try this out for 2 weeks, see if you like it, see where you're having troubles. I want to see how far you climb as well. Maybe you'll be in plat next time we talk.
All right.
And then once that happens, record a game. Plays.tv seems to be the easiest way to do that. I want it from your perspective so I can see what you're typing, so I can see where you're looking, stuff like that.
Yep. All right.
We'll do a game review. We'll talk about what went well, what went poorly. We'll see if we can find other mistakes that we didn't see just from talking about it.
All right.
That's all I got, man. Unless you have more questions, let's end it, because it sounds like you're sleepy.
Yeah, I'm really tired. So what was... Hold on, let me...
Yeah, sure.
Write this down real quick. What was the website for recording games again?
Oh, and here, do this. I'm just going to go back to... Here, let me go to LOL Coaching. Good, I don't have to log in again. If you go to my profile, so oh, shit, how do I just see my profile? I have everything written here. I made an FAQ.
Oh, okay. All right.
So Plays.tv is the magical one, and remember this video is recorded, so you can just skip to this.
Yeah.
It'll be at the end, but try that one.
All right, I'll definitely do that, and I'm definitely gonna hit you up again in a couple weeks.
Yeah, sure. Let me know, man. And if you have questions anytime, like shoot me a message on LOL Coaching or Skype or whatever. I only use Skype when I'm coaching, so if you shoot me a message
Yeah.
there, it will be unnoticed until like the last possible moment.
Okay.
But whatever, answer
Alright.
anything. Happy to do whatever.
All right. Well, thanks a ton. It was
Yeah,
actually
sure,
really
man.
helpful.
Good, good. That's what I want to hear.
All right. So you'll be hearing from me in a couple weeks.
Cool. All right, man.
Alright.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Good luck in solo queue. Climb. Climb.
You too, man.
All right, bye.